The obsession with politics.
That's right. I'm obsessed with politics. Welcome to YellBro Road. I am Jordan, and today we're gonna obsess over politics. Saagar is actually going to interview Joe Kent, and I've heard it's gonna be ridiculous. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We're in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome. And obviously, everything I show you will be linked in that same description box for you to look at on your own, including stuff like this. Some recent breaking news here. Wait, wrong one. Sorry. Wait, wrong one. The fuck? Where's the thing I had?
That's 3 times in a row.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
All right, my bad. Allegedly, and apparently, according to Al Jazeera, the IRGC announces a launch of 75 missiles targeting Israeli and U.S. sites. This is within, what, an hour? Yeah, a little bit over an hour. Yeah, this is not good. Not good. And if you can see, like, the threats from the White House here, if Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will
That
hit.
was yesterday.
Either way, this is a threat being thrown out there, right?
Why are you so scared of Iran, bro?
Anyways, the United States... Fuck my life. Anyways, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first, according to Donald Trump here.
Yeah.
So targeting energy.
So 24 hours in.
Yeah, and then when you look at this as like, okay, you guys are going to do that? Well, fuck you. We're going to do this. We're going to, bomb across all the Middle East. Probably mainly Israel, but also these energy and U.S. Army bases across the Middle East will probably be hit too, if this is true. Right? So, which means it's going to be, each day it seems like more and more escalation, which should be scarier and scarier for regular people. Let's continue.
No, it's not. It's called war. That's how war works.
Oh, it's normal. Okay, got it. This is also old. See, like Iranian military outlines potential response if U.S. attacks power plants.
Harrison, you need a cup of tea for that.
I didn't hear that clearly. What'd you just say?
Oh my god. Iranian military outlines potential response if U.S. attacks power plants, which is response to this tweet, right? But you can see here, preemptively, possibly they launched these things already. You see the Strait of Hormuz will be completely closed and will not reopen until our damaged power plants are rebuilt. All power plants in the energy and information technology infrastructure of Israel will be widely targeted. All similar companies in the region that have American shareholders will be completely destroyed, which means those Gulf states, honestly, like any of these states that, on paper, just saying.
Work with us.
Yeah, and then power plants in regional countries hosting U.S. bases will be considered legitimate targets. So, like, these two are like the same thing almost. If it's like energy stuff or companies, then you have right, power plants in these other countries. Like, yeah, we're gonna launch it all. We're gonna let it fly, and that's what this might be. And I think that's worthy of
It might
acknowledging.
have to be because half of their targeting systems rely on power of some sort, so it's got to be now or never.
Like, on paper, who would that hurt more? This whole thing, who would it hurt more? As far as like
The U.S.
power plants or energy things being targeted by either team,
Iran it would hurt more.
probably right, because they don't have like.
Because we're not there and they can't reach directly America.
Yeah, but like, don't they have a lot of interest in these areas, right? The U.S.
Yeah, it'll fuck up our allies if they're expendable, according to our government at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's about it. That's how we're looking at it, I guess.
I don't think they're expendable. I think it's like listen, you're going to take a bump right now, and later on, it'll work out because the point is to get rid of these guys. Just get rid of them. And once again, on paper, the Gulf states are cheering for that, right? To get rid of these guys, essentially. So
I wouldn't agree 100% with that, but along the lines
well,
of
on paper.
allies, they're torn. They're torn on these issues.
Fair
Not
enough.
the power structure, but the people. The people are.
Fair enough. But on paper, sorry, yeah, actually, on paper, I believe the Gulf states as a collective released a statement saying, like, yeah, we need to get rid of Iran. Even though I think we already knew that
Okay.
behind closed doors. I think we already
Yeah.
knew that was the case. Yeah, get rid of these guys.
Okay.
Was the idea.
But yeah, sure, the governments of these places would agree like that, but the people would not. The people would probably be on Iran's side.
Yeah, very, very possibly. Very possibly. But either way, let's keep going. Now, I just thought this was kind of interesting and a little funny. This is a tweet from 2024 November, right? I think when they won, right? Before they won. Vote the pro peace ticket. Vote Trump fans. It's like the irony of this is and I don't get why people voted for this or thought this would be like the peace
Trump
team.
Trump didn't start a new war. It's not his war. War's been going on since 1979. That's not right.
Thank you, Boomhauer. Yeah, it's like, and I can understand why. Like, once again, I can empathize with people being like ignorant to certain ideas, like they didn't look into it, but the information was there from on the surface to the, independent journalist, conspiracy world, whatever you want to call it, right? Every level, the idea that these guys were peace candidates was bullshit. Off rep. It was bullshit off rep. The first term I understand. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it, because these guys haven't taken office yet, right?
What war did he start? I want to know.
Moving on, because that's an irrelevant question to what's being said here. I'm just saying, kind of irrelevant to the point.
Well, you're saying he's not pro-peace, but I'm just asking, what did he start?
You're asking a question to where it can apply to anyone. Thus, it makes it kind of a moot fucking question. Does that make sense? Of course it does.
No, you're trying to say that he's not pro-peace. I'm just he started. Make him not pro.
If I ask you, like, what wars did Obama start, you're not going to have an answer because the things that Obama did would apply to Trump. So thus, right? If you're playing politics.
But Obama did for 8 years. Trump's only been doing it for a month, and I never heard him say a word.
No, he's had 4 years. Now he's into year 6 now, right? He's in the midst of year 6.
Yeah, he's had a month of bombing Iran. So what's your point? Fucking Obama had 8 years of bombing Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan.
No, dude, Trump's been bombing the same countries that Obama did. In fact, he passed them in like 2 years in regards to drone strikes. But that's whatever. You're just practice at this point with your statements. But let's move on. Let's get to and Seb's left too for some reason, but whatever. Let's get on to the main story here, which is gonna this is gonna be a part of this Joe Kent guy. That if you watched our video about the Joe Kent guy, where at least I am, and I think many others were, very suspicious of this character. And apparently this might add to it, but I haven't heard this yet. Let's hear it. Let's hear it out. Here we go.
And so by the time we were leaving Iraq in 2011, it was evident that we had basically handed over Baghdad to the Iranians. And so the Israeli lobby said, hey, this is a major problem because now we basically have a Iranian superhighway, a land bridge that goes from Iran all the way into Syria through Iraq. This directly supports Hezbollah's efforts against Israel. So it was a major problem. And so we had basically tipped the balance of power in the region over to the Shiites. So then the dirty war in Syria was launched because Hafez Assad and Bashir al-Assad had always been longtime friends with the Iranians, supported the Iranians, helped support Hezbollah and Hamas from Syria. And so who
Yeah,
do we
I would
rely
think.
on as our proxies inside of Syria? Well, it was by and large the Sunnis and the most radical elements of the
Rely
Sunnis.
on
There
as
was the
our
Free Syrian
proxies.
Army and there were some so-called moderates. But the guys who were out there and really aggressive against the Assad regime were members of Al-Qaeda and then eventually members of ISIS. ISIS got so out of control that we eventually had to go back into Iraq, back into Syria, largely re-empower a lot of the same Shiite militias that we were trying to take power away from in order to take out the ISIS caliphate. That's where I lost my late wife, was fighting the ISIS caliphate in 20.
Okay, well, so was Iran. I think they were fighting those guys too. Uh, hmm. It, it's like two-pronged for me because you have Scott Horton, right? He's supposed to be Mr. Anti-War, libertarian style thing, but he screams weird to me. I like Dave DeCamp a lot more than this guy. Once again, Scott Horton has some information that he says. Fair enough, but like, what do you do with that information? Could be dog shit. I'll say that. But that's whatever with him. With Joe Kent, it's like he makes these things sound like normal almost, which is one of my main beefs with geopolitics and foreign policy when it's spoken to like regular people, is that they make it feel like it's a James Bond spy novel where it's like you just don't understand. Like, this is what these guys got to do over here. They got to do this. They got to do that. And it's just like, huh. It's like you're almost like trying to make it like complicated sounding for the sake of kind of muddying the waters and allowing the audience to think like, well, it's over my head, so I can't do anything about this, or I can't think about it, or I can't look into it, which I think is bullshit. I think regular people can understand this stuff and be like, wait a minute, you guys are full of shit, aren't you? You guys are full of it, aren't you? But instead, it's just like explained so like procedural from this Joe Kent guy. Like I mean, like many topics, very procedural, and it makes it sound like it's some sort of special operation thing that that hey guys, you have no real business in looking into this. We know the business stuff. We get this. It's complicated. Go back to your regular lives. Like we'll handle this type of stuff. And you can see from the actual tweet itself is from March 20th, right? Yes. Joe Kent gave an interview on the Scott Horton show, who I'm a little bit sus of, to be honest with you, in which he acknowledged that during the U.S.-backed dirty war in Syria, Washington relied on Al-Qaeda and ISIS as proxies. And the way, like, once again, the cold nature in the way he talks about it, almost like very procedural. It bothers my heart personally. But yeah. Also, like, let's be honest, this guy's been in favor in regards to the Tucker Carlson interview and other information. This guy's in favor of these things, of U.S. kind of domination in certain areas, whether it's creepy or not. Still in favor of it. If it's, I guess, a short and sweet venture versus like a bogged down, you're stuck here for decades type of situation. Both bad to me, both creepy to me, but one of these things he's okay with, and another, I guess, at least on paper, he's not. Which should be like, I think, alarming. You have a brain and critical thinking. Yeah. But either way, okay. Either way, we'll move on to the main event, I guess. The Saagar Enjeti and the Joe Kent interview, where hopefully Saagar puts some fucking tough questions to the guy, but he probably won't. Let's be honest, he probably won't. And then, don't worry, the fans will say, Jordan, shut up. But in 3 years, you'll be like, why didn't anyone ask him questions after he screws you over? Right? Just being honest with you. Sorry, fan base. Just being honest with you. We'll scream and clamor and cry about certain things. Like, why are you going after this guy? And then years later, you ask, why didn't anyone go after this guy? That's what I see very consistently.
You know, it's so weird is like that you say that because I was looking for the PowerPoint that Allie and I had made about this guy.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to see it, and I was trying to find his website's not up anymore or anything. But it's like I was like, when did we make this? And I looked at the date, and it was like July 31st, 2022. It's like Jesus, 2026. Like time just moves so fast, and then now this guy's
Yeah.
was in the fucking administration, now leaving the administration. It's like, And the only reason why we were even paying attention to him was because of his association with Eric Prince. And because Eric Prince was throwing him like a fundraising shindig in Pentagon City. And Jack Posobiec was one of the people that was also facilitating it. But I was just like, who is this guy? Like, why is Eric Prince, like, why are they throwing this for him? Like, who must be really important, right? And then he lost his whole thing. Yeah. But anyway, it's just like, huh. That's why you smelled so weird in the very beginning.
And he betrayed Nick Fuentes, our fucking leader, our thought leader. He betrayed him. Yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, like that's a good scenario, actually. Where it's like, you caught onto the guy, like, relatively early on. I'm late. But either way, like, I don't think at any point either one of us would fall for this guy or what he's about and all that shit, like, without asking questions at the very least. And it's like, that's the actual problem with the regular people looking at these, shout to Ed Lee, these celebrities, right? Shout to Ed Lee. Like, you should be asking questions up and down the fucking spectrum in regards to these people. You should be asking like all types of questions, anything, seriously, to feel like, hey, is this guy like lying to me? Is he saying a canned answer? Is he saying a scripted answer? Whatever. Like those are all worthy of looking at. The problem is people say, "Shut up, guys. Let him fucking do his shut up. Let him do his thing. Get out of his way. You're hindering him. You're holding him back." Then at a certain point, they get somewhere where it's like, okay, now it's too late. Now when you have problems and you complain about it, this guy is somewhere over there where you can't reach him. You can't talk to him anymore. And now he's gone. And other dupes that don't know the shit that you know are going to be like, well, Joe Kent's awesome. He's amazing. No, bro, let me tell you. I fell for him at first, but listen, I learned some shit later on. This is not the right guy. And it's like, okay. Wait a minute, wasn't someone doing that with you? Like, when you were screaming and clamoring for a Joe Kent personality or Joe Kent person to be in office or to be in a cabinet situation somewhere, why do we betray ourselves so harshly for these characters? I don't get it. But we do.
I just tagged you in archive, but it's just I just sent you a screenshot. I just want you to. I have a screenshot on that screenshot that I just sent you of him talking about his foreign policy, like what was on his foreign policy from when he was running, and he was talking about these endless wars that Bush got us into, along with the establishment Democrats. And it's like, how come your tune changed so much? How come it's all Israel now? You know what I mean? It's like different. Like it's just, how come nobody asks them about like, how did you transition from this foreign policy, from thinking that this was the issue to now it's just Israel? Because I'm just not getting it. I would like for somebody to ask, please.
Damn, do you have like a this is on your channel, you said?
No, this is just a screenshot from my PowerPoint like presentation that I found.
Fuck. Yeah. I don't know how to share this on
YouTube.
Right.
It's okay. Well, at least they can take a screenshot of it.
Oh, yeah, I'll leave it on screen.
Yeah. But yeah. So if you like read the like at the very bottom, it says like for the I think it's what is it? Okay, so it says,
so you can
we initially went to Afghanistan to strike back against al-Qaeda who attacked us on 9/11. So this is from his foreign policy about Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan. And then he said, we immediately changed, and he said, and the Taliban elements that provided them sanctuary, we immediately changed course without consulting Congress or the American people to a mission focused on nation building instead of focusing on hunting and killing those who attacked us. Shortly after, the Bush administration, with the support of establishment Democrats, lied to the American people to get us into a second regime change war that dragged us into the nearly 2 decades of failed nation building that has only enabled Iran and our enemies. These wars must end. So it's like so Israel's not here, right?
Israel.
I'm just curious, like what, I don't know, like I would like to know how he evolved in his thinking. That's all. But,
Fair enough.
you know.
All right. Hopefully this is on screen long enough for you guys to like screenshot this, and it looks very visible. So, okay. I did that right.
I feel like we should keep that in mind as we're like listening to his Saagar stuff, because
Yeah.
it's just
No, agreed.
Mm.
All right, we're back. I mean, well, it's like there's that, right? But then there's like, if you just like listen to him and Tucker talking, it's just like, guys, isn't this like, I don't know,
very.
the shift blaming and I don't know, the lack of, I think logic even behind their arguments. It's like kind of protectionism, you know, like just protecting this guy or the administration or the idea of the U.S. being involved in anything, protection that's there, while also shifting blame towards strictly Israel. Although they are part of the blame, they are part, like not them, but like the government there, the people, the individuals involved are part of this fucking problem, 100%. But it gets kind of, I don't know. They become the scapegoats, I think, for everything. They good?
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just scapegoating. Like as Biden said, if Israel didn't exist, we have to invent another scapegoat, right? Like you just have to, like, hardly anybody wants this war, right? Like except for Harrison, but everybody's like not really for this, and then but they don't want to
Hey,
blame
I'm okay
Trump.
with this war. I'm all right with this war.
Okay.
Let's make that
Okay,
shit
yeah,
clear.
Don't
few
interrupt
people.
Jesse.
Yeah, but the same people don't
Not
want to
everybody's a
blame
pussy,
Trump.
Jesse.
So what do? Israel sounds very convenient to put all like every single evil of the world into, right? Like just easier that way.
It's almost as
Yeah.
much a scapegoat for
If we had
themselves.
Democrats, maybe it would it'll be the Democrats. But right now Trump's there, so it's not Trump. he's
It's not the guy I spent hours and money or whatever the fuck and telling my fan base to go support. It's not that. So, or sorry, it is that. So maybe, you know, you got to point away from him and towards another country or leadership. And it's just lazy thinking. Lazy from the audience if they buy it, and I think corrupt from a guy like Joe Kent. I've heard him talk a few times. I'm like, I'm convinced this guy's full of shit to me.
Yeah,
Absolutely full of shit.
And it'll be further clear. I didn't watch the Scott Horton thing, so might have been bad as well if he asked him real questions. But this one was like actually heinous. It's like an abomination of like dialogue. It's like it was weird. It's like, oh, okay, and you're just gonna let him get away with that? All right, cool.
Well, the clip we watched was like more so just Joe Kent talking. It was a small clip, short clip.
Okay.
So the whole interview, I have no idea in regards to the whole interview, but I have some reservations about Scott Horton personally. I'm like, I don't like, man, I don't know. It feels like Dave DeCamp's different when it comes to antiwar.com and the people that work there. Scott Horton seems like a celebrity. Shout to Ed Lee again. Versus like he'll dance with totems versus being a full blown critical thinker, no matter what, kind of all the time type of thing in these spaces, right? In the political spaces or geopolitics. But all right. Either way, let's hit play on this. Here's Saagar and Joe Kent. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't think I need to hear Epstein, Charlie Kirk, and I can guess what Mike Huckabee thing would be.
I don't care about any.
I want to hear of the resignation and why, and also his weird assessments in regards to the Trump administration, and thus, Israel did it. So let's find out. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. We are about to record an interview with Joe Kent. He's the former NC.
And I'm fucking lagging already. All right, I have to leave and come back. Fuck my life. All right, here we go.
TC director, the National Counterterrorism Center, resigned in protest over the Iran war. Many of the questions that we pulled were from our premium subscribers, so I just want to say at the top, thank you all very, very much. You submitted over 500. They were so helpful. I actually paraphrased many of them into many of the ones that I have that are prepared. So with all of that, let's get to it. Joining us now is Joe Kent, the former NCTC director. He resigned in protest over the Iran war from the Trump administration. We have a lot of questions for him, and we thank him very much.
That is not the right context to put that in. I'm just saying that is not the right context. He's not protesting because of war with Iran. It's about the execution of it, I believe, based on his own words.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
For his time and his heroism. Joe, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're a goddamn hero,
absolutely.
man.
Well, it's a very interesting time. I did, of course, want to give you, at the very beginning, an opportunity to respond. Mac, if we can go and put this
Looks
up
related
here
to Nick
on the
Fuentes,
screen.
actually.
Multiple stories now coming out from the Trump administration alleging that you leaked classified information specifically to multiple media outlets and to Tucker Carlson. And so just at the very beginning, did you ever leak classified information of any kind?
No.
Okay.
So do you believe that this is political retribution against you?
I do. If it's even true. I mean, they're saying I'm being investigated, which would be a leak onto itself. So I think this is more of a media campaign than anything else. So I don't even think it's necessarily retribution. They released all this at the same time my interview with Tucker was coming out. So I think they're just trying to kind of capture the narrative.
Got it. So capturing the narrative, obviously, to try to discredit some of the allegations that you've made here in public. Obviously, we believe that these are very serious. And to my knowledge, you are the highest profile presidential appointee in modern history to resign over a war. And then specifically at the beginning
making them
of
seem
a war.
like
So I do want to give you the opportunity, even though
statements.
many others may have heard your explanation that you laid out in your resignation letter. Why did you decide to do this?
On this child abuse, right?
So I decided to resign at this juncture because I thought that I had kind of expended all options for helping us get out of the current state that we're in. So basically from the time that the lead up to the 12-day war happened, Operation Midnight Hammer, and then everything since, I did the best job that I could to paint an accurate picture of the intelligence and why we had more options with regards to Iran and that situation. Then the war kicked off, and I saw the trajectory that we were on, and I could no longer be part of that in good conscience, knowing that this was a war of choice. This was the type of war that I fought in. My late wife and so many of my good friends lost their lives in, and I promised myself long ago, if I was ever in a position of responsibility or had a way to make my voice heard, that I would be against something like this. But also what was critical for me was to really explain to the American people, but really to the president, because I couldn't get through to the president anymore from the inside. I needed to do it from the outside. And I truly believe, and really Marco Rubio, President Trump, Speaker of the House, and many other government officials, public statements confirm this. I truly believe that the Israelis forced our hand in this. The only thing that was imminent about the operations in Iran was the fact that the Israelis were going to attack the Iranians, setting off a series of events that would get us deeply involved in this war. So
okay, I have to stop it here because people have this, I think, misconception. I don't know why they're just buying Marco Rubio so hardcore like that. But the idea of the 12-day war thing, I have to say it again, like, it is what it is, just in case there's new people listening. Once again, Israel attacked Iran, right? In the 12-day war, the beginning of it, right? They attacked Iran. Iran attacked back. They didn't shoot at army bases, U.S. army bases. They didn't. That's the only evidence I have so far. So, like, him implying that because Israel attacked, they're going to start attacking American bases can only be based on a few things. One, he's lying. Two, Trump getting on a podium or talking to the press and saying, like, well, actually, we told Israel to do it, which is what Trump did, right? After the 12-day war, Trump said, like, yeah, we told Israel, we gave them the green light to do this stuff. Which would mean, like, well, for Iran, it'd be like, well, that means you guys are a part of this, so then we'll attack you back. It's another possibility. So either way, it's like, it comes back to the U.S. in some form or fashion that this guy will not say. He will say, well, Israel attacked, so Iran's gonna attack U.S. bases all of a sudden. Which doesn't make sense unless you see all the fucking reports and stories. Trump, that's the thing with Trump, is like actually in words, on video, him saying it. I led the charge. We gave him the green light. We told him to. So, like, what do you do with that? Instead, they're making it seem like a hostage situation to where Israel's like, hey, yeah, listen, U.S., we're going to do this anyways, so, like, you guys might as well jump in because you're going to be attacked. Yeah, we're just doing this willy-nilly. We're doing this. I'm saying bullshit because I saw that fucking orange penguin get on a fucking podium and tell, like, in this second, not the 12-day war, this version, this new one. So I'm getting on a podium and say, like, yeah, we did this. What's up? And yet somehow they're still playing mental gymnastics to point towards Israel. And Israel, you should point at Israel, but like them and them only, you're out of your fucking mind if you're going that route, which is what this guy's saying. And the convenient fucking statement from Marco Rubio is being used and abused, if you haven't noticed yet. All right, let's apply.
Almost like it was produced for that exact reason.
There is the argument that is on the right is the reason Trump made that I'm leading the charge thing after it occurred was because he is being held hostage by Netanyahu. Therefore, he needed to make it look like it was his idea.
What, blackmail? Like, at that point, you have to go to the magical world.
Yeah.
You have to, like, essentially make something up. Once again, it could be true, but it's like the point is, like, where we're at right now, it would be making it up because we don't fucking know, right? We don't have the inside scoop for that. So thus, if I just loop with that and run with that would
No, you gotta at least acknowledge the possibility of that being the case. There is no full evidence to support it, but the possibility of it being the case is there.
I don't mind questioning or theorizing about that. The point is that people are just leaping with it and just going with it. Whether it's blackmail, whether it's Trump is being dragged, as in like what Joe Kent just said. Because let's be real, he is protecting the White House. So thus, it can't be Trump is a dupe or Trump is blackmailed. Like he's like, I mean, well, actually, he did say that, didn't he? He said his family was threatened or something like that, right? Like Trump is so courageous that he wouldn't mind threats against himself. But if it's against his family, then Trump would definitely maybe capitulate at that point. Right?
Well, here's the problem with that thinking, though. What we have a very historical famous traitor. His name was Benedict Arnold during the Revolutionary War, and
he makes really good eggs.
Praise the guy. Sorry. We didn't praise the guy in any sense. Once we acknowledged that he was a traitor, he was written in history as a traitor. He was punished for being a traitor.
Yeah, but what would you do?
What?
Huh?
But they're
what
not.
Would you do?
No. But what I'm saying is, like, they're justifying Trump. They're justifying Trump being a traitor to our nation for this ally, versus acknowledging that this is a traitor. If not to the nation, to the party. What he ran on, he's a traitor to all of that.
I mean, that's.
I get your.
You have to think he was ever legitimate to for him to be a traitor. It would mean that he would have to not been for real.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense. It's like
no,
he would have had to been compromised like years and years ago. Like it. And
then plus they would have to also indict all the other presidents that are probably still alive too, because they all do the same fucking dumb shit. So they're not gonna do that.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
It's
because then Obama would have to be indicted. You know, Cheney's dead now, but he wasn't the president, but still. Bush is still around. You know, like who else? I think that's it. And Biden. Yeah,
as he's doing
Bush
backflips and
Senior's
bike rides.
dead.
yeah,
Carter,
exactly. Yeah,
Bush Senior are dead, and
He's
Reagan's
doing yoga
been
right
dead.
now as we speak.
he is. His fucking spring chicken.
But
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that Joe Kent is in this category of protection of Trump for the sake of protecting your own ego. I think he's actually like a full shit artist, like actually protecting the apparatus itself. But the maybe the quote unquote regular person, right? They may be protecting their own egos in a way, or like, hey, I like there's a lot of quotes before, like I voted for this, right? That was a thing, and now it's like gone. It's disappeared quite a bit of like the I voted for
What
this thing.
should be said,
and maybe
what
they're
should
protecting
be
themselves. Oh, real quick,
acknowledged-
Tubster. Maybe they're protecting themselves egotistically in a way, or like, hey, listen, I supported the right thing. It's just like this guy was a trick the whole time. Or sorry, he was legit the whole time, but then he got tricked. And I'm aware that I'm not getting tricked because I can recognize that Israel's doing this. It's kind of like the narrative, possibly, to protect their own minds, their own egos. But yeah, God, sorry.
It's like there needs to be like urgency of holy shit, our fucking president's compromised if that's the fucking route you go. Like, hello, that's the
But
fucking
that's not even
problem.
the route he's going, though.
I know, but
In my opinion, yeah.
how is that defensible? That's a fucking major concern. It's not something to defend. It's something to freak out about. This guy is still saying Trump's good at the end because his family is being threatened. Dude, he's in charge of 300 million people. At the end of the day, are those 8 people more important than the 300 million? Like,
Holy
do we
trolley
need
car.
the trolley car? Yeah, do we need the trolley car experiment to explain that?
Well, Joe Kent has been juggling, based on what I've seen, especially from that Tucker interview. He's juggling ideas that Trump is. He's not only righteous, he's also courageous. He's also this and that, but he's also, you know, he can't say compromise, but it's so weird. It's like he's just doing this like balancing act of this stuff.
Yeah, and you're gonna watch him short circuit in a second. So just FYI,
fair enough. Fair enough.
Literally gonna short circuit as he's trying to balance all these contradicting ideas in his head and trying to make sense of it. He's like, no, yeah, he's gonna short circuit. So
Even that intro, he's the highest ranking, like, to resign over war. Wasn't there a general just like a couple months ago over Venezuela? He just
yeah,
resigned?
fucking Southcom, right? And
he's not higher than the fucking general. There's Admiral Alvin Halsey.
He was the head of fucking Southcom, and he left because they were just blowing up boats in the middle of the ocean. He's like, "Yo, I'm out of here."
What's Joe Kent's title?
He was head of counterterrorism, I believe.
It was it was
under the DNI and under Tulsi, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what ranks above
director
what,
of national counterterrorism, etc.
It's an appointed position. It's a appointed position wouldn't be rank anyway.
No, I'm just saying it is. It's under the DNI umbrella, from what I understand.
Appointed to do. He messed it up though.
He may hold like a higher office in a way, but Joe Kent's military service never brought him to that admiral guy's level, I think, when it comes to I guess rank or whatever. But it's whatever. That's say fair enough. Fair enough. Let's keep playing here. It's already wreckage, but just kind of giving like a preview of like the Tucker thing that we watched, right? So where it's like, let's hear the repeat of it. Here we go. Hear this rerun.
On was the fact that the Israelis were going to attack the Iranians, setting off a series of events that would get us deeply involved in this war. So there was no imminent threat posed by Iran itself. If anything, the Iranians, since President Trump came back into office, they had showed that they were willing to, number one, get to the negotiating table. Number two, that at times of conflict, they would use a very deliberate escalatory ladder because they took President Trump very, very seriously. And because, in my personal opinion, I think the data supports.
I'm sorry. I'll back up. But like, was like pointing out, like he said that in the Tucker thing, like, oh look, well Trump is willing to punch him in the face, right? And it's like, it's kind of projecting like, oh, he's a tough guy who's really good at negotiating, right? He's not weak. He's not a weak negotiator like Obama was, right? He's a tough negotiator, and the Iranians took him seriously because yada yada yada. Although I think at this point, Iranians viewed him as like, yeah, this guy is a liar, and he'll lie, bro. He'll say we're here for a deal, for negotiations, but actually he'll bomb us as we're setting up negotiations, which is what happened, right? But
beat down from the subordinates too, because there was a lot of people in DNI that before he was appointed.
DNI that what?
So
say that again.
There was a lot of people in the Department of National Intelligence that were more qualified for the position than he was, but he got appointed. So he probably got an earful from them as like, I'm not cut out for this. These guys are really good. And I'm just, I'm just going to like do talk shows.
You're saying he felt inferior? That's why he left or something? Is that what you're saying?
I really do, because there's some real smart cookies in DNI. And I don't think he was one of them. He didn't fit in. And that was part of the reason. The leak, that may have been part of it, but I'm pretty sure his subordinates.
The leak. Look at this world. Are they that smart? Look at the world we live in, man. As far as like the bad stuff, the good stuff is amazing. I love it. But look at the bad stuff.
Harrison,
are they that smart? Are they that smart? I don't know about that, man.
The DNI people,
that's whatever.
They're the same folks that eventually, the DNI folks, and it was a woman, and she was the one that tracked down Osama bin Laden. Finally,
as he's eating Captain Crunch in a fucking Pakistani compound somewhere.
He was in Abbottabad, and she had her sources, and yeah.
And as he's watching as he's watching Golden Girls.
Hold on.
Eating Captain Crunch.
Harrison,
like, stop it.
Let me ask you this: to your understanding, what was the leak that Joe Kent provided?
I know what he's going to say, but
all I know is there's an FBI probe, and that may amount to nothing.
No, what was
one of the
what
leaks?
did he leak?
One of the leaks.
No. Sebs, I'm asking Harrison.
Okay, my bad. Damn.
You're going to have to wait for a charge for that, bro. It's under investigation.
Don't be a Michael Tracy.
And I don't
what do you
it's gonna
think?
Happen because what do I think
what
it was?
Is claimed?
What do you think?
What is it claimed that you've heard that he leaked?
I have not heard any claims. I don't know. But he said something he shouldn't have said to somebody.
All right, go ahead, Sebs.
And it could
go
have
ahead
been
and answer that question.
And it was probably over the internet. It was probably over the internet in a chat room someplace or in a text message. Probably said some shit to somebody he shouldn't have.
You just go with it. Like, yeah, he probably did. You just go with that. Okay. Interesting.
Well, that's what they tried to tie up Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard for a few months ago. Same shit. But he was probably talking to somebody he shouldn't have been talking, or somebody that Trump didn't want him talking.
Because Trump's
which could have been a lot of
control and on top of that.
No, Trump's got no.
Sebs, no. What do you know is the claim?
Mark Levin said that he's patient zero.
It could have been anything
he was
regarding
leaked
this
on.
operation. I think
that's still hilarious. Fucking patient zero.
I think he told somebody.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
he said that Joe Kent leaked
before it was
about
approved.
his meeting with Donald Trump.
I think that's all it took for the probe to happen. But I don't
he
think
knows
the
it was
probe's going to go nowhere.
He saw him in the room as he was walking.
Or we would have
in
heard something more about it now.
To advise the president.
Regardless, he's resigned.
So did he leak details of Mark Levin's conversation?
No, he just leaked that
Mark
Levin was there, and that and
just not classified.
He said it's bad decorum.
Mark Levin doesn't have a security clearance.
And Mark Levin basically he called him like the deep throat, or who is the deep throat? I don't know. He was maybe it was Megyn Kelly.
Mark Levin, he doesn't know shit. This guy, he had one of the highest security clearances you can get besides the president. So he said something to somebody he shouldn't have, and Trump found out about it. Or maybe Vance did. Probably Hegseth. Hegseth probably found out about it and was like, Trump, this guy's a faggot. Let's break him down.
Okay.
Trump's like, no, let's see if we can let him go gracefully, and he did. That's my best guess, bro.
Thank you. Okay, cool. Thank you. And we can maybe listen from him then. Thank you.
Yeah, these guys
sounds like a documentary with the extras.
These guys and these government
This
apparatus.
guy's a faggot. Let's get rid of him. Like, what? Okay. Yeah.
The guys in these government apparatuses, these guys are out of their fucking mind. They're out of their minds. Seriously. But all right, let's hit play. Here we go.
They had showed that they were willing to, number one, get to the negotiating table. Number two, that at times of conflict, they would use a very deliberate escalatory ladder because they took President Trump very, very seriously. And because, in my personal opinion, I think the data supports this, they did want to reach a deal. And we can get into all the details there, but that's basically why I felt like at this juncture, I needed to resign.
That's Scott Ritter,
Sure.
baby.
So you opened up that statement saying you no longer felt you could get to President Trump. So who specifically was keeping you away from President Trump?
Mark
or
Levin.
people like you who had
And,
those ideas?
Look, I don't want to get into specific people. I don't want this to become a he said, she said, palace intrigue of the Trump administration. I just feel like there was a wall put up around President Trump so that he was not getting a wide variety of options. And so that he was kind of existing, and unfortunately, in this echo chamber where you had
Trump has
highly
no
influential
agency.
members of the Israeli government that would come to
He's like a
President Trump
baby.
in an official, unofficial capacity, or members of his very inner circle. And they did a very effective job of moving a key red line. President Trump has always said that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Hey,
And as a matter of fact, the former supreme leader since 2000.
He's going to repeat the Tucker thing, but go ahead.
No, I mean, if the president is in an echo chamber that led him to attacking a country we don't have any reason to be fighting against, and nobody in general, like the mass population, is not okay with this war, that's the fucking problem. Like,
And Donald Trump is the only one who can get us out of it.
like,
He's the only man.
how can you divorce reality from that not being the fucking problem?
He's going to say to Tucker stuff, or sorry, the things he said to Tucker, which is like,
Yeah.
oh, well, there's a
Saagar's gonna
fatwa.
directly ask him.
And
Saagar's going to directly ask him, why are you still supporting the president after like everything that's been done to you? So
Thank
yeah,
God.
that's why I was like,
But he's going to
because he
say,
directly asks him like several times.
So we need him.
so
He's the only one.
what Joe Kent's going to basically say or imply is that Trump is like, no nuclear weapons for Iran. And then he's going to say, like, oh, Trump's inner circle told him that, like, hey, any enrichment is nuclear weapons. And Trump's apparently dumb, but very smart at the same time somehow, according to Joe Kent. And he's gonna fall for that. And hey, in fact, the leader of Iran, the Ayatollah guy, put a fatwa on. Okay, repeat of shit we already know on the not know, but like have already heard on the internet, which makes me like look at him very sus. I'm sorry, bro. Like there's something sus about this Joe Kent guy. Right? He seems quite. I question if he's a psychopath. Honestly, I questioned that initially in that interview. I'm like, yo, where's your like? Why is it so procedural and like cold and like hyper analytical? But whatever. Let's hear it. He's gonna repeat those narratives, but I want to hear that question though. I want to hear Sugar ask that question. But all right, here we go.
And they
The only
did a
one I've
very
heard so far
effective
asking
job
that.
of moving a key red line. President Trump has always said that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And as a matter of fact, the former supreme leader since 2004 had said the same thing, that Iran will not get a nuclear weapon. So the Israelis knew that actually this was very dangerous for the Israeli agenda, because the Israelis wanted regime change, and they saw that President Trump and the Ayatollah basically had a place where they could start negotiations. So the Israelis very effectively took the...
That is absolute bullshit, as far as I understand. Now, if he has inside information, I guess he would hide, right? Like, well, that's clearance. I can't say this stuff.
Yeah.
But like, how do I trust you though? Well, just trust me. I had clearance. You don't. Trust me, bro. That's the logic, essentially. But as far as I understand on paper, these guys were nowhere near a fucking deal. Nowhere near it. Maybe certain concessions, but like the overall red line thing, which was the U.S. saying no enrichment and Iran saying some enrichment. That it has apparently been the red line. And of course, Joe Kent will say, like the Trump administration, sorry, not the administration, sorry, Trump himself didn't realize that was the actual red lines because he's really stupid and he thought enrichment means like nuclear weapon because he's an idiot, according to Joe Kent.
Yeah. apparently they kept some sort of like, magnetic force around him to just repel anyone with a different fucking opinion. So
He's a well-meaning idiot.
some sort of like Zionist, like anti other opinion shield.
Yeah.
Or something. So yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Poor guy.
The policy
poor
of
Trump.
no enrichment,
Poor
and they
Trump, man.
they breathed life into that, and they
Feel
basically
bad.
made that into the U.S. policy by having their unofficial folks come in and say, "Hey, it's really the enrichment that's the issue," and then they would have that echoed in their pro-Israel media apparatus here in the United
There it
States,
is.
and so that was kind of all the president was hearing, and so I wanted to be able to express that to the president, and I felt like I was kind of out of options to do that from the inside. And so having to go this
Didn't
route
ask
was
for
the
a
best
meeting?
course of action.
Right. So I guess just to
Wait,
make it
so
very
hit
clear, you're not
pause.
going to be specific, but you were obvious.
He apparently
He's
couldn't walk
saying,
into the
like-
White House, I guess. My God.
So what Joe Kent just said was, Trump is watching TV and hearing everything that everybody around him is already saying, because they went into the news and just started saying that as a talking point. So Trump just got echo chambered and what's called reinforcement, positive reinforcement, whenever he turned on the news and it said the same thing. Everybody around him was already telling him. They
Yeah.
can't have enrichment.
Let's talk about motives. Look at his face. Does he look like a military veteran, or does he look like a politician right now? What is he trying to do? What is he trying to salvage
Looks
for
like a
himself?
liar to me.
Exactly. There
Yeah,
you
but
go.
not in the sense that you're saying here. So whatever.
He actually looks like he's trying to protect Trump.
Yes, yes, Jordan. Democrats
also
are
protecting
liars too.
himself.
Yeah, I think he still works for Trump. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think this is, in my opinion, like a little play.
I
that's just
can't
me.
say what he's exactly doing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm sure, but that's what it smells like to me because it just
He's,
way that
he's
he
not
handles-
going on the military vet shows. He's doing the circuit with these fucking retards. He's doing. I'm going to salvage what I got left so I can run for office somewhere else. Because
I don't know. I think he's playing a role.
Before I was
No,
appointed by Trump, and I made a mistake.
No, I don't think.
I
I think
got on the
I
bad
don't
side
think he's going against Trump by
Of whatever
resigning.
you want to call it, MAGA, Trump, his
No,
administration.
I'm just saying I don't think he's
whatever.
actually going
He talked to
against him by
somebody he
resigning.
shouldn't have. He got in a
No,
little bit of trouble.
no, I disagree. I'm
Harrison's
sorry.
not
And he's
listening.
like,
You
you
can
know what?
repeat that
I got a
all
little
over
bit of
again?
money. I can take
Okay,
this heat,
Harrison,
and I'm going to go make a little bit more money, and I'm going to campaign
I got you.
later.
You already said all that.
That's
I got
what-
you.
He might even write a book.
Yes,
Jesus
got it.
Christ, you guys are fools.
Yeah.
Harrison,
Okay,
have you
so
heard him actually
as I
attack Trump
It doesn't
at
look
all?
like he fought a war his entire
it
life.
doesn't make any sense
Don't
that he
give me
just
your
like
bullshit.
got kicked out of the
He's not a
administration.
He's a military veteran,
With the
but
amount of
he's not
cover
a
that he's
veteran. He's not a man's man. You know what I mean? Not
Harrison,
anymore.
you don't actually see him right now, like actually defending Trump. He hasn't actually attacked him in any sense.
And he won't.
I think that's because Trump gave him a gift. He's like, get out now and do something with your life.
He's already out.
No,
gave
no,
us-
I
he
was
gave-
just saying.
Hold
That
on.
would literally.
He
That
put-
would literally.
Hold
like-
on.
Sorry, go ahead.
The gift is putting him under investigation.
He's not. He's probably not even
I told
really in
you, it's
investigation.
not going to go anywhere.
That's meaningless.
If
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
does,
it's fucking Mark
if it
Levin.
goes
I think
anywhere,
Pet
will
knows
pay
it's not
you
going anywhere, just like
$1,000
Tucker knows it's not
deducted
going
out of
anywhere.
my own
That's
pocket.
why he's not freaking
This-
out.
This guy's trying to
Saying he's
salvage a
under
political
investigation
career.
actually helps
that he-
his
Yes, he's trying.
podcasting.
No.
It does.
He's,
I
he's
agree.
trying
with
to
Justin.
salvage a political career. Whether or not he stays Republican or goes Democrat doesn't matter because it's all fucking bastardized right now.
You're so
Definitely.
mind warped, Harrison, on this politics shit, bro.
I am not.
Yeah, you are, man.
I'm just telling you what he's doing. He's trying to salvage a career outside of the federal government. Think about it.
If you're
They will
saying
eat
what you think,
alive if you
no,
don't play-
we've
if you
already
don't play
went over this,
basketball.
Harrison. We already
You're-
considered those ideas. Like he's gonna have a nice, cushy job wherever the fuck, right? He's not actually in legal trouble.
He did have a nice cushy job. He fucked it up. That's the point.
I don't think he fucked it
No,
up.
this
I
is
think he's doing his
good
job.
propaganda. This
Yeah.
is good propaganda
Yeah.
for the Trump administration.
Yes.
It really is.
It's for both of them.
If you say so, I'm thinking Trump let him. I think he let him off light for a reason, and I don't think Trump wants him back in the administration. It's so he can go like,
Okay.
what they call that?
I
Sow your wild oats. That's what Trump did to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. I'm still waiting for that question from Saagar. Let's hit play. Here we go.
felt like I was kind of out of options to do that from the inside. And so having to
you couldn't be
go
like, hey,
this route
Trump,
was
can
the
you get a
best course
meeting?
of
You
action.
can't do that?
Right. So I guess just to make it very clear, you're not going to be specific, but you were obviously kept out of the room by your telling. If
Can't just
that's
walk
the
in like,
case
hey,
for
Trump,
other
over
people
here.
in the
Can I talk to
administration,
you?
do you
Can't do that?
anticipate any other resignations of your caliber?
I'm not sure, honestly. I know there's a lot of folks who feel the same way I do, that have the same concerns as me, and they may or may not approve of the the method that I'm using right now, because it does incur a lot of risk. So honestly, I don't know. I could see it going either way.
Well, let's talk about that then. There's a theory, and I've seen leveled against you within MAGA. One was, Joe, to be a truly loyal patriot, you should have stayed in the administration and you should have continued to work at this end. I believe I speak to probably some of the same people of those mind in the administration, and that's their theory, is I need to stay in order to try and effectuate what kind of change I have. You clearly felt that the situation was so dire that you had to end up resigning. So talk us through that process and what that interim 3-week period before your resignation ended up happening. What was going through your mind?
So I completely understand the theory that you laid out. And it's just like, I'll stay here, I'll stay at my level, and I will continue to make a difference from the inside. I'll soldier on. And quite frankly, I did that for over 20 years, and I didn't see a result. And I did it for over a year here in this administration. I think there's some places where we had some very significant victories. However, I felt like I had reached my maximum level of effectiveness. And quite frankly, just because I had pledged to myself so many years ago that I would take action at a time like this, I felt called to do this. But I do think we need to have a multi-pronged strategy. And part of the strategy is keeping people that are on the inside. And I say strategy, I don't mean I'm conspiring with anybody. I don't want to start a witch hunt within the administration. But I think we need people on the inside who are still going to try to steer the ship. So for people who are frustrated,
he's talking like a politician, and he's been doing it for a while. Because that's what he wants to
partially agree with you, Harrison. It's in favor of the Trump administration. I don't think you realize that, do you? You think this?
I don't think Trump.
I think he fell for the headlines.
If Trump wanted to crush him, he would have.
I'm moving on.
I think he gave him a gift.
I'm hitting play. Here we go. Hitting play.
I say strategy. I don't mean I'm conspiring with anybody. I don't want to start a witch hunt within the administration. But I think we need people on the inside who are still going to try to steer the ship. So for people who are frustrated within MAGA and think there should be mass resignations, that wouldn't work any more than everyone staying in, kind of grinding and keeping their nose to the grindstone. I think we need people doing kind of both.
Why
so
would
for
that
me,
not
I
work?
felt like, considering the fact that
that would disrupt.
I have soldiered on for so long before. I have tried this before. And honestly, it felt like the easiest thing for me to do was to just kind of go back to my default mode, which is I'll be a good soldier. I'll salute. I'll move out. I'll try and make a difference. It feels good being the NCTC director. People are very, kind to you, and you have a cool office and you have a cool title. It would be the easy thing to do. And whenever for me anyways, whenever I feel like I'm doing the easy thing, I always try to check myself. And I said, I'm in a unique position right now because of my experiences in my past life in the military and the CIA and even running for office. I feel like I have a pretty thick skin for this type of stuff. So I think that the most value add I can have right now is in this role. If the Israelis were able to get into President Trump's ear using the media, it's time for me to do the same.
Got it.
This is bullshit.
The Israeli-controlled media.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually bullshit.
So
I agree.
No.
Make your point. Good.
Sugar's question is, why didn't you just stay in there and do your job and try to reach him within the government? And his answer was, well, that wasn't working. I couldn't keep doing my job, so I had to quit. But there shouldn't be mass amount of people walking off the job. So your quitting shouldn't mean anything. You don't want people to copy you. So what are you you just quit your job. Cool. Good for you.
On the idea.
Why are you on TV?
On the idea.
Why are you on TV? You quit your job. What do you fucking do?
On the idea that Trump is being duped or tricked by someone, if he saw massive people quitting, right, and leaving, wouldn't that be like a signal? Right? That's one thing. The second thing is,
don't do that. Don't do that.
Exactly. You say nose to the grindstone and bullshit, bro. It's fucking bullshit. What he's saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of those folks retiring too, just because it's their time to go. So
That's just not that.
I don't know what
No. One is a protest, and one is just like I'm done. I'm retiring. Right. That's different.
Imagine this. Imagine this.
But, I mean, if you've been in federal government for like 20, how many years does it take? Especially
20 years.
He was hazardous duty too, so he's probably got like 2 retirements now. So yeah, a lot of those guys have hazardous duty retirement on top of what they're going to get when they retire from the government. So if they're leaving, it's because they're old and they got 2 or 3 retirements.
Are you implying this guy's
we got to fill those spots?
Are you saying
what are you talking about?
Are you saying like his is a protest, or are you saying his is like just like, hey, excuse for retirement or something like that?
I don't think he's trying to mobilize anybody to protest. That would be stupid on his part because he wants to be a politician.
I partially agree, by the way, but go ahead, Dubster. I think you were saying something.
Imagine this. I'm like the VP of communications for a corporation, and I just found out that we've been poisoning a river for 2 years now, and I'm about to quit. Like, I'm gonna make sure I get the next press meeting to happen, and I'm gonna fucking like reveal the crimes of the corporation right now on the thing, and I'm gonna tell them, you know what? And I suggest everyone that works at this corporation should go on strike right now until they stop polluting the river, because this is wrong. And this is what I believe. Take the risk.
Only
you might. If I'm about it, then I'm about it, right?
Only if you like. Okay, it can relate to Joe Ken. Only if you say like the CEO was being tricked by. Sorry, the Pepsi CEO was being tricked by Coca-Cola to dump poisons in water. So,
no, I'm talking about the VP that just found out that for the last 2 years we've been polluting. You could say the last 10 years. Let's just put 2 years to it. That the corporation has been polluting poison into the river. If you're seriously about making that stand and you want to do something good, shouldn't you call upon your fellow workers to strike at least?
Yeah, you should.
If you're serious.
Yeah, you should. And that's one thing. The second thing that I think we're missing out on is you're telling me this guy couldn't do anything to get you can't like see him in the hallway like, hey, President Trump, let me talk to you. I have like an important information. Let me talk to you. Hey man, these guys are tricking you. They're playing whatever the fuck he might do. Right? He had zero access as the head of the national counterterrorism shit. He had no access to the president at all. None. Is that what he's saying? Like, I couldn't get there, man. His inner circle like blocked me off. Like, are you kidding me? You can't just like run into a room like, hey, listen, I have some, Mr. President, I need to talk to you, like personally. You can't do that at all. You can't see him in the hallway. You can't like, what's he doing? Like filing paperwork to like get a meeting. You can't just be like, hey man, I want to talk to you. That doesn't exist or something like that. Is that what he's saying? He had no chance. Nothing.
When he's in the meetings, did say here
when he is in the meeting, somebody's stepping on his shoe saying, "Stop talking."
That's not good enough. He quit his job.
He did say that people get in his way, right? Like, and I'm not saying like the way you just described it, but it sounds like there's some internal politics, and he, not that he couldn't communicate. I think he could communicate, but like other people there probably either didn't like him or were like maybe he was gonna get fired, so he just quit. Like, because
so like what?
Internal politics like happens at every company, right? Like,
yeah, but like, what would they say? Like, are they saying to Trump like, "Hey, Trump, don't trust Joe Ken. Don't trust him." Was that it, or was it?
Doesn't have to be like. So I don't think.
I'm saying what stopped him?
Saying that there was no chance for him to speak to Trump. I don't believe that shit. But
me neither. Yeah.
But it does indicate that there were internal conflicts. Not even saying him with Trump directly, right? Like there's other people there, and he didn't want to bring up names, but there's other people there that obviously, from what he just said, kind of butted heads with him, right? Like you don't, from what he said,
Allegedly.
that they were blocking him, right? Which I don't buy that, but that doesn't just happen like. I mean, it just sounds like there was maybe some level of double crossing or politics among people there. According, like that's me reading through the lines of what he was talking about.
Fair enough, but like in my opinion, this screams bullshit. It does scream PR for the Trump administration. This screams PR for that whole little apparatus thing happening there. More so than a disgruntled worker or whatever. It screams like this is you're like sent out to spread a certain message or narrative. That's what it looks like to me. To actually back up the Trump administration. Oh God.
If you guys had met the senior staff at DNI over the last, 10 years, they're getting up there in years, and then Trump appoints this guy, this rascal. And I don't know what his job was in the military. And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? And they're giving him shit every day. I guarantee they were, because they know a lot more than him about intelligence than he does. And he was like, I'm out of my league. I'm a politician, and I should stay that way. So he shut his mouth for a while. And then Trump was like, why did that guy shut his mouth for a while? And then all of a sudden he says something he shouldn't have to somebody, like I said, over the internet. And I think somebody like Hegseth caught on to it and was like, you know what? They tried to do this to me. Look at this motherfucker.
On paper, I think this guy outflanks Hegseth.
Let him go. Trump was like, let him go. And now he's gone. And now he's doing the thing.
When it comes,
write that book.
Hold on. When it comes to on the ground,
run for office later.
When it comes to on the ground combat, this guy right here outflanks Hegseth. I think by a lot.
No,
I think.
No. Hegseth would be higher than DNI.
No. Not saying. I'm saying like in the sense of combat missions. I think this guy outflanks Hegseth.
No, Secretary of War.
No.
Definitely outrank.
Hegseth was in the
all of DNI.
Holy shit! Listen to me for a second. Hegseth was in the military, right?
Hegseth is a snaky man. He's very wealthy.
Hegseth was in the military, right?
But he doesn't want to be a politician.
I'm talking to Dubster right now. Hegseth was in the military, right? Dubster?
Yes.
So was Joe Kent, right?
Brigadier. Well, okay. Hegseth was a brigadier.
When it comes to combat missions,
Harrison, you can't talk at the same fucking time. It's like hard to hear. I don't know who's saying what. Sorry.
What do you mean? Officers don't do combat missions. They sit around and do weird shit.
Well, this guy keeps repeating this shit. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But he keeps repeating his combat mission decorations and all that shit. Right? He keeps doing it.
Maybe he has them. I don't know.
Joe Kent.
Was he an officer? I don't even know that. He may have just been enlisted. You know?
He wouldn't be here if he was just enlisted. They were both officers.
Okay, once again.
Okay.
I'm going to try to say it again. As a military person.
Competition there. Who won?
Okay, I'll try again. As a military person that has done military stuff, right? As far as I understand, Joe Kent outflanks Hegseth when it comes to combat.
Wrong.
The amount of time logged in conflict.
I don't know that. I wouldn't know that. I'm saying the ranking of the.
I know what you're saying, but it was beyond my point. My point was about like this guy spent more time in the field.
Hegseth was a brigadier level officer
than Hegseth.
Hegseth was in charge of brigades. I don't know what this guy's job was in the military for reals.
Fair enough, but as far as like I keep hearing him say it. This Joe Kent guy of combat experience. I keep hearing that. And my guess is it actually probably does outflank Hegseth.
Could you look up if Joe Kent was military? Harrison, could you look up what?
I don't even know what branch. It looks like Army.
I don't know either.
He is Green Beret. He's Army Special Ops.
Search. Okay.
And he was CIA too, according to what he just said earlier.
Yeah, I think he's worked with them as well, but he's like CIA,
they do their own
he's
thing,
special forces.
You can like
they have to hold on. Harrison, you can't talk when other people are also talking, dude. I'm gonna fucking
I
mute
wouldn't
you.
want to do that.
I'm fucking
Sounds
muting
like
you. I'm done.
working with a bunch of lesbians,
I'm actually
HR people.
Yeah.
You triggered him.
I'm actually done. Like, I'm fucking muting his.
Yeah,
He's fucking annoying. Goodbye.
God, Sabs.
Can't hear you.
God, Sabs.
I don't even know what I was saying. You can go on. I just had to mute him. It
Special
was like
ops.
annoying.
Yeah, he's special forces.
Special ops.
Oh no, I was just saying because the reason why the CIA, if you're in any kind of special ops, I'm pretty sure whether it's like Navy SEALs, Army Delta Force, all that, I think you have to interact with the CIA anyway. So it's kind of like your CIA by proxy.
There's
anyway.
National Guardsmen.
That's probably
that are
why he
special
has
forces
a relationship with them.
that are in your hometown
Okay.
right
In the way
now.
that he's speaking.
You'll never know their
Okay.
names though.
From my
And,
understanding.
just because you can put it on a resume doesn't mean you're hot shit. I'm just saying.
Okay,
I
fair
think
enough.
somebody got him caught up.
See, Harrison, the thing is, I think you're dissing him because you think he's going against the Trump administration, but I think he's actually working in tandem with the Trump administration.
No, I'm not dissing him because he's going against anybody. I'm saying Trump gave him a gift. He's like, go out there and sell your.
I think he gave him an order.
Trump likes him as a politician.
Personally, it seems like he gave him an order, not a.
I
not a
think
gift.
no.
In my
I
opinion.
think Joe Kent's people that were underneath him gave him a hell of a time, and he's like, damn.
Okay, fair enough.
I need to find something else to do. I better go back. I better go back to running for office.
YellBro is the best.
And this is how you do it.
YellBro is the best.
I agree. Harrison.
YellBro is not the best.
I agree.
Oh my god.
YellBro's kind of right sometimes. I'll agree.
God damn it! All right.
You're kind of gay though.
Mostly gay. Meant mostly gay.
He had to
That is the weirdest
unmute to say
echo.
that again. All right. Anyways, let's keep playing. I'm waiting for that question. Here we go.
I
Well, I
forgot
think
the
that's
question.
obviously very admirable. So let's talk then.
How
The
do you still
specific
support Trump?
allegation
I
I've
believe it's
seen
like
about
the
this is
gist
that
of
you
the
are
question.
misrepresenting how this went down. Is that you have not provided specific evidence for how the Israelis manipulated President Trump. I think that's pretty clear to your
Okay. I like this
explanation.
question,
So
too.
you've talked, I think in some vaguer terms about, they presented
He saw it
shifting
on
red
TV 'cause
lines,
they own the
etc. But
media.
what did they do to get him to accept those red lines? Because ultimately he's the one who has to agree. So how did that play out?
Good question.
So, look, if I were to give very, very specific examples, I could put myself in a lot of peril. However, like, what's our,
Get
I
the
know,
fuck
it's-
out of here!
just
Get
wait.
the fuck out of here, dude! Get the fuck
Oh, I
out!
just quit my job. I'm not a whistleblower. I just quit my job.
Like, how did the Israel give us in detail how the Israelis have such influence over Trump?
Can't do it.
Well, I can't listen. That's secret
how it
shit.
is, Terrence.
Security cleared. I can't say it. How
Nobody can say
how
it, is there?
convenient? How fucking convenient that is.
That's what I'm saying.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
But I'm gonna save the country by doing this.
Secret
You can
covert.
still say it's Israel, right? Like that's not a problem.
He's like, I can't tell you why it's Israel, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, trust me, bro.
Israel.
It's fucking Israel, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Capital I, Israel.
Izzy's gotta go. Izzy gotta go.
Israel is real. Let me tell you. They have a real president. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I have to leave and come back. 1 second.
These polls say it was Israel.
Hold on. All right, we're back.
Oh
That
my
is a
goodness.
ridiculous. I'm gonna play that again. That is fucking ridiculous.
Not even
Absolutely
the worst
fucking
one.
ridiculous. All right, here we go.
Do to get him to accept those red lines? Because ultimately he's the one who has to agree. So how did that play out?
I can't tell you.
so look, if I were to give very, very specific examples, I could put myself in a lot of peril. However, like what's already publicly out there, I think the Secretary of State and the President's own statements about, well, Israel was going to go, so we had to go, really tells you
Marco
pretty much
Rubio
everything
again.
you need
Got
to
it.
know about the off-balance relationship that we currently have with the state of Israel. But it works very simply. The Israel
Yeah, but that's not. The question was about like their intelligence, their top secret stuff, not U.S. Right? As far as like Israeli actions, what they're doing to coerce the president of the United States. According to you, Joe Kent, you're saying that, right? They're coercing him, they're tricking him, whatever the fuck they're doing. They're dragging him, right?
Kicking and screaming.
Yeah. So like, what? Okay. All right. Here we go. It doesn't make sense.
Officials would come to us either through intelligence channels or through official engagements with the president, with members of his cabinet, their counterparts. And look, these guys they're good. A lot of them, they're very good at what they do. A lot of them are dual citizens, native English speakers. When you deal with the Israelis, it's different than dealing with any other foreign government, really, because they sound like us. They look like us. You can get pretty comfortable with them, and they have a very competent intelligence service.
They not like us. Said they not like us.
And so you're kind of like a little bit. You can be impressed by the intelligence that they can offer. And so these officials would come in and they would kind of shop around different ideas and different concepts that would basically get us to the point where we would need to take.
Would you say pause?
He's now saying you should be impressed by these Mossad agents.
No, he's saying you could be impressed by them, but then like you find out what they're really up to, and then you're like, you're not like us.
No, he's praising them.
And then he plays Kendrick Lamar.
Like, no, he's praising them. That's what he's doing right here. He's saying Israel is
trigger word. Dude.
Israel is good too.
No, he's not. That's not.
Are you hearing that, Dubster? Like they're saying like every trigger word, like they're dual citizens. They can speak.
I know.
They're very clever.
Yes,
very conniving.
They're throwing you your red meat.
It is actually ridiculous.
No.
This is for you, Dubster.
What I'm saying is, if you actually listen to what he's saying with all of this, is they're super intelligent. They're impressive. He's saying that shit too.
No,
so
and to beef up Trump though. Pause.
I think in the sense that he's praising Israel and the shit right now, right here.
No, he's not. He's saying that like you could be impressed with him. I watched this interview already. I'm telling you, he's not finished with his sentence. You didn't even let him finish his sentence. How would you know what he's going to say next?
I think he's boosting Trump by saying you could be tricked by these guys because they're so fucking.
Mm-hmm.
They're
it's to
clever.
Excuse him because he's saying because they're so clever. You could be swept up. That's what he's trying to say. He's not saying like because they're the smartest people ever and I'm a stupid goy. Like what? That's not what he's saying. If that's what you think he's saying, like that's. Not.
I mean, I don't know where your mind is, Dubster, but like this would be, based on passing that I've heard you say, this would be catnip towards that direction. Do you agree with that? Like this could be that, right?
Play it again.
Okay. Back up a couple ticks. Here we go.
Israelis. It's different than dealing with any other foreign government, really, because they sound like us. They look like us. You can get pretty comfortable with them, and they have a very competent intelligence service. They're good at what they do, and so you're kind of like a little bit. You can be impressed by the intelligence that they can offer, and so these officials would come in and they would kind of shop around different ideas and different concepts that would basically get us to the point where we would need to take action against Iran. And they knew that President Trump had always said no nuclear weapon for Iran. And so they took this line of zero enrichment, knowing that the Iranians had a red line of their own. And the Iranian red line was very pragmatic. It was that they wanted the ability to enrich uranium. And it's kind of common sense why. It's because they watched Gaddafi in Libya say, hey, I don't have any more nuclear weapons. I'll give them all up. Look what happened to him. Or if where you try to develop nuclear weapons, you end up like Saddam Hussein. And so the Iranians had this, I just call it the Goldilocks solution, where they said, we don't have nuclear weapons, but we could have them if we want them. And so that was their red line. So the Israelis came in and they took this talking point. And to my knowledge, and people can fact check me on this, to my knowledge, the first Trump official who said, no enrichment for Iran, that was Mike Pompeo in the first Trump administration. Right. And I haven't seen anyone else come in and say, like, this is the U.S. policy. However, it was repeated
Luigi
enough.
Mangione's look.
Okay, never mind. All right, here we go.
And, no enrichment for Iran. It was Mike Pompeo in the first Trump administration.
Okay.
And I haven't seen anyone else come in and say, like, this is the U.S. policy. However, it was repeated enough in official channels that they can't have enrichment. Enrichment equals, like Lindsey Graham would say, 10 nuclear bombs in 10 days or something. Just
lock in, Harrison, lock in, man.
And I haven't seen anyone else come in and say, like, this is the U.S. policy.
I haven't turned down.
However, it was repeated enough in official channels that they can't have enrichment. Enrichment equals, like Lindsey Graham would say, 10 nuclear bombs in 10 days or something just absolutely absurd. If you got a nuclear expert in the room, they would say, no, that's not how any of this works at all. Plus, the Ayatollah and his government had enforced their no nuclear weapons stance since 2004. And so we had no intelligence that reflected that enrichment equaled a nuclear bomb. It was pretty clear.
Okay, so this is what this guy, in my opinion, like what he's doing here, which is taking this idea of, the idea of no enrichment, or the idea of like enrichment meaning like, okay, that means nuclear weapon, right? And he's saying like, okay, the Israelis put this in Donald Trump's ear, saying like, hey, Trump, listen, if they enrich at all, that means they're looking for a weapon, right? That's the idea he's saying. But
yes,
I personally believe that the White House and the apparatus were using the idea of enrichment as a tool to say like, hey, if they're enriching at all, it is for a nuclear weapon, which is why they pulled. Like, how did Trump know to pull out of that deal, the JCPOA? How do you know to do that? Enrichment was in there, right? It was there on paper. There it was. Like, what did he like? It's like, is every decision like based on advice? Like the JCPOA, right? The Obama deal with Iran, right? And enrichment was on there, right?
Enrichment up to blah. I forgot what
up to like 4% or something, up to 4 or 5%, right? If that was the case, like, how come you didn't think like that was like building a nuclear weapon? I don't think he actually thinks that. I think they're using the idea of any type of enrichment to trick other people, not to trick Trump, to trick out to trick the populace into believing that any enrichment means nuclear weapon. I think that's the actual point of the talking point. That's the point of it, I think.
Hold on, I couldn't argue if that was Trump or Israel doing that.
Sorry, when it comes out of their fucking faces, I'm looking at them. Forgive me. It is from Israel too. They're saying the same things, but the U.S. people are saying the same. Like, I can see their face, their fucking lips, fucking.
Right.
It's yapping away. I can see that.
It's come out of American politicians' mouth as much as it's come out of Israel's mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, so either they're with it or they're tricked, right? They're morons. Like they know what they're doing.
I mean, well, Jesse, like beyond stupid. A part of it. Beyond stupid.
Well, see, this makes me think of the Opeth argument of Israel leads, we follow, versus your idea of they're working together, and then is like, I wouldn't know how to distinct that in this topic right here.
Why would the U.S. have to follow? Like, what kind of leverage do they have to cause that to happen?
No, I'm saying I couldn't discern right here if one is leading and one is following, or they're working together.
Let's go over the idea. Hold on. Let's go over the idea that Trump is this stupid, right? Let's go over that idea, right? Let's say the initial reason for why they, like, his advisors, or I guess Israelis, told him like, yo, pull out of this fucking deal. Pull out of the Iran nuclear deal, right? Pull out of it. He's like, oh, well, listen, Trump, this is about, like, you're giving them billions of dollars and they're using it to fund terrorism around the world. Let's say that was the idea, right? But there was no idea of, hey, they're with this deal, they're building nuclear weapons, right? Now, that idea is not there on paper in regards to, like, these guys' responses to it, right? Like, he couldn't say that, right? Do you agree, Dubster? Like, Trump couldn't say that. Like, Trump couldn't be like, oh my God, because of this deal, they're building nuclear weapons, right? He couldn't say that, right? Or could he?
He would have to be the best deal maker who has no idea what he's making a deal about. That would be the situation.
Because of the JCPOA, whatever the deal's called, it was supposedly stopping them from making nukes, and him pulling out would give permission for them to make nukes.
No, but the idea was they were enriching at that time period, right, in regards to that deal. The problem on paper, according to the Trump administration, if we take it at face value, was that they were that they were getting billions of dollars to fund terrorism, right? To fund Hezbollah and Hamas and
that was an attached idea to it. Yes.
No, that was the main idea. It wasn't about enrichment at that time period, right? It wasn't about them making a bomb. at all, right?
No, that was tight. That's the same deal. It's all part of the same deal.
No.
Giving them,
Try again.
giving them their frozen money back, and them enriching up to a certain percent was a deal Obama made with Iran.
Yes, but I'm saying like the Trump administration can't say like, oh my God, these guys are enriching to like weapons level, right? Weapons grade enrichment, right? They weren't able to do that based on the deal, right? Because they had oversight, right?
He had to acknowledge that was part of the deal, that it was to the limit that was agreed upon, which would keep them
And their
under
main problem was
nuclear
what?
weapon.
Their main problem was like, hey, they're getting this like sanctions relief or whatever. The U.S. is giving them money, and when they're getting money, they're
freezing their money. Yes.
Well, I'm saying like what Trump's administration has been saying, right? Which is like what they've been saying is that the U.S. is giving them money, right? Because they're giving them money, they're spending it on terrorism around the Middle East, right? That's the idea.
And they're building up their infrastructure and making them a powerhouse in oil.
Sure, but the idea wasn't about nukes at all. Why he pulled out of it was not about nukes, right? Essentially. But now, after they pull out of the deal, it becomes about nukes.
Well, he danced around it and made it seem like he's got a better deal. That they're still not going to make nukes, but it's a better deal than this that we're going to always give him. And that lingered through his whole first term.
Okay, but follow me for a little bit. The idea that he didn't know about enrichment before, but now he does after they pull out of the deal, sounds so absurd that it just, you stand in fucking awe of reality at that point, I think. Does that make sense? It's like that makes no fucking sense that all of a sudden he knows about or cares about enrichment after they pull out of the fucking deal, which was about enrichment, right? And that's why I keep looking at Joe Ken here, where it's like, oh, he got tricked. I'm like, wait, so why did he pull out of that fucking deal then? Like, he didn't know about enrichment at all, or it was a mystery, and now all of a sudden it's about enrichment after they leave the deal. And I think this guy Joe Ken is relying on people not remembering that or not knowing about it in the first place. In my opinion,
because the real soldier wouldn't have to rely on social media to boost up his.
Oh my God, Harrison, you're missing the point, my friend, or you're trolling. But whatever, that's whatever.
Nobody cares about what this guy had to say because he got fired.
Yep, got it, man. Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
YellBro is the best.
Before he got fired.
Anyways. So what Joe Ken is saying is that the Trump administration Trump himself was tricked into thinking that enrichment meant bomb. But meanwhile, he pulled out the initial nuclear deal, which was deeply involving enrichment. Deeply. So he didn't, no questions about this initial deal that he broke off from. No questions about enrichment then. But now he does have questions about enrichment, and he thinks enrichment means nuclear bomb. Because my advisor said so, but wait a minute, why did I pull out that deal in the first place? Oh, wait, money and terrorism. It's spaghetti of bullshit. Let's call it that. Convoluted bullshit. At best. And there's no fucking way that this orange penguin, in words at least, does not know this stuff. So when I look at Joe Ken, he's failing the fucking blatant IQ test. He's failing it. By miles, he's failing it.
I'm pretty sure he knew this guy was weak sauce, and that's why he gave him a choice.
Okay,
get out or get fucked.
Okay, got it, Harrison. Thanks, man. All right, let's play. But it's just he said, he's calling Trump so stupid, beyond words stupid. Essentially, he's calling him very dumb. But guess what?
Saying he's like a baby. Does he need his diaper changed? Does he go to the bathroom by himself? This poor man.
Yum.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Trump probably had the final say, but
anyway, I wasn't trying to.
Somebody else caught him
for that, but people have issues.
Yeah.
Somebody else had to bring the attention to Trump.
I'm not hating.
listen, overall, stupid looks better than corrupt when it comes to the populace, and I think the Trump administration and Joe Kent, I think working alongside them, is aware of that. So thus, like Trump he was dumb. He got played, just like Alex Jones. Alex Jones's narratives are Trump is stupid, or Trump is a narcissist, or Trump is megalomaniac, whatever the fuck. They'll say whatever to relinquish the idea of fucking corruption. Harrison, please let people speak. I beg you to.
That's why I turned his ass down.
I
It's
can't.
ridiculous. I can't even hear him.
You're pissing on my boy.
Put the natty ice down. All right. I'm trolling.
He's
dude.
a goddamn perp, and he will win against Iran against all odds. And all your talking points up.
You got a cup holder in your lazy boy, right?
And invalid. Shut up! I'm in my garage working on my fucking my car right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm changing oils and shit.
What kind of car, if you don't mind?
Oh, God.
It's the smaller truck. It's not one of the bigger two. I got 3 pickup trucks.
Nice.
I don't have any cars. I got a, what do I got? I got a 2005 Ford. I got a
Oh, don't say you're shouting on the internet right now. Don't do that.
2011
Just say I got
Ford.
trucks.
I got a,
Just say you got trucks.
I got a
You're good.
2000
You're good, Harrison. You're good.
Toyota Tundra. I can't touch a Tundra because I don't know how to work on it because I'm not a fucking
Shut
Asian.
the fuck up. No one cares. I don't know what he's saying, but
He's bringing up the goddamn whippersnappers and their modern cars. I can't. Too much computer shit in there. I can't work on them anymore. All right, what's a play? Here we go.
What their strategy was. So
Although
they came
I
in with their
feel you, Ben,
officials
on
and
that
they would say like no enrichment because enrichment equals a bomb. They would kind of just repeat it, but then they would do a good job of coordinating that with their
Trump
surrogates
had no idea.
in the pro-Israeli media here in the U.S. Mark
Oblivious.
Levin, Sean Hannity, Foundation for the Defense of Democracies.
Mark
They'd
Levin,
have it on
there
Fox
it is.
News. They'd have it in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Post, the Foundation
Mark
for
Levin was
in
brought
the
up.
pro-Israeli media here in the U.S. Mark Levin, Sean Hannity, Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. They'd have it on Fox News. They'd have it in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Post, etc. And the next thing you know, I mean, they're hearing it enough that they kind of breathe reality into it. And then we're having a debate over no enrichment. And we basically reach an impasse. I think prior to the 12-day war, again, this is just my opinion. I
they
believe
breathe
that
life
Steve
into
Witkoff
it like a
was on the
golem.
cusp of getting a
Talmudics.
deal. Now, it wouldn't have been the Iranians just giving up everything in terms of enrichment,
right here
but
wants to
they were
touch my
talking
butthole.
about
I don't
enrichment
like
and
you,
what
Jordan.
levels and how would it be
You're watching
monitored.
him and you're
And we're
enjoying
making
it
a lot of
because you're
progress.
gay.
And again, every time we'd get close to
You're gonna
a
make me
place
turn
where
you
there's
down,
progress
Harrison,
being
but I
made,
love
the
you
Israelis
anyways.
would come in with a bunch of crazy intelligence, usually, just to see which would stick. You know, they're developing ballistic missiles that
Harrison,
are
do not drive
pointed directly at America that can reach
Is he
America.
saying-
No.
Things
He
like
wants to
this,
make it
and
stick
they
to
would.
you, fucking dubster. He wants to
Is
make
he
it
saying
stick.
Levin and Hannity are? Is he saying they're bringing in intelligence? I kind of miss
No,
some of it.
Yeah,
what
he
he's saying
said-
is
Oh, sorry.
they're
go on.
driving a fervor on their station about the how bad the deal was that Obama did.
And Trump's using that as intelligence. Is that the idea he's saying?
I gotta re-listen to it.
I'll back
Why
up.
you guys
My
turning
bad.
me
I'll back up.
down?
I'll back up.
You can't turn me down. You got to turn me back up.
I didn't turn you down, Harrison, but please don't be a butthead.
Okay, I won't touch your butthole then.
Don't touch my butthole. All right, here we go.
And we basically reach an impasse. I think prior to
worry
the
about
12-day war, again, this is just my opinion. I believe that Steve Witkoff was on the cusp of getting a deal. Now, it wouldn't have been the Iranians
bullshit.
just giving up
Bullshit.
everything in terms of enrichment, but they were talking about enrichment and what levels and how would it be monitored. And we were making a lot of
He
progress.
lies
And
about
again, every
everything,
time
I
we'd get
swear.
close
This
to
is bullshit.
a place where there's progress
I know,
being
it's like
made, the
provable.
Israelis would
Hold
come
on,
in
hold on.
with
This is
a
what
bunch of
we're
crazy
relying
intelligence, usually, just to see which would stick. You know, they're
The Israelis are
they're developing ballistic missiles that are being, pointed directly at America that can reach America, things like this, and they would
Stuff we've
try
all
and
known,
generate
yeah.
enough hype to take away the president's decision-making space.
Yeah, but Joe, like, where's
People
this
believe
shit
the
at?
hype. That's the problem.
Oh, like, what is this, Joe Kent? What is this? Is this Israeli? What is this? Israeli intelligence? Is this why he's doing what he's doing? Is this what this is? Joe Kent?
Israeli intelligence is Rupert Murdoch.
It
That's
makes
his
it
answer.
makes no sense in regards to like what we hear out loud. And then when like if you ask him about it, he's like, "Oh well, that's like top secret, so I can't say it." It's like, what? Like, what is the magic potion being sent to Trump?
Sean Hannity, Mark
He
Levin,
implied threats
and
before.
that's-
What is he saying exactly? He's saying, like, okay, Trump got tricked, or, you know, like subtle ideas through media or through the whispers of Israeli intelligence, right? Or dual citizens, if you will, right?
Mhm.
But then you have, like, him saying, like, well, Trump is courageous and he's only worried about his family getting killed. Is he blackmailed? Is he threatened? What is the idea? He's just saying all of them. And I bet motherfuckers are just like, yeah, that's why. Exactly. Right. That's why it's happening. Now it makes sense.
And Sean Hannity keeps saying it on TV, so therefore, when the Israelis are done talking to him, he turns on the TV and he goes to Fox, and Sean Hannity repeats everything they just said in the media. So therefore, they're also Israeli agents that need to
Trump
curtail Trump, at the same time drive a fervor in the party to make Trump want to do this to please the party.
Trump is being threatened and tricked at the same time. So things that he has like control over, he's being tricked. Things where it's like, I guess on a human level, he's being threatened. Apparently. And it's like, damn, man, this guy can act like the thing that we were making fun of before. Like, this guy can do no wrong according to his fans and his audience members, right? For Trump, I'm saying. Apparently, Joe Kennedy's saying like that is the case, but like you can make it up as you go. Like, what is it? Is he being threatened here? Is he being tricked? Yeah, whatever works. Whatever works is the case, apparently.
Apparently. It's like choose your own adventure.
That should be brain breaking for audience members.
Build your own world. It's a world building exercise.
The Trump Minecraft fucking level.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It should be brain breaking for the audience, by the way. For
so we should
not our shit,
so
but like
we
these
should-
guys. This should be brain breaking. Straight up.
So we should honor the office of the president when they're sold and compromised at every level, all times.
Tricked, sold, or copper, like all three of them. Like
Right.
he's wrong no matter what, but his reasons are not because of him. Like
But
why he's wrong
he's
is not
humble.
because of him.
Trump's humble. But don't forget, Trump's humble.
He's also a
No, he's wrong
megalomaniac.
because of others. He's wrong because of others, but when he's right, it's because of him. I literally said that to Dubster, right? Like,
Right.
It was years ago.
Well, think about this though. Like you're saying all the things the right was saying about Obama, in this sense now about Trump. Of he's compromised. There's somebody that's like pulling the strings behind his back. Oh, he's doing this for Democrat communism, or he's doing this because he's a Muslim and secretively.
Barack
We should
Hussein
never have a
Obama.
Kenyan president. Yeah, we should never have a Kenyan president because he'll just sell out our country. Well, now we got this guy that we all said was going to defeat all of that, and he's doing the exact same shit. And you can't say anything like realistically that he is like standing up to this at this point. That's not your defense. Your defense is he's protecting his family. Yes, he's compromised, but he's humble, man. He's a good man.
Unless you want to go through Joe Kent. Unless you want to go through him.
You just changed it to
watch your
being
mouth.
empathetic you just changed it from get rid of this fucking traitor to let's be empathetic to this traitor. I mean, he's being threatened.
Let's give him a chance. Maybe he can turn it around. Maybe if we do enough media tours, Trump will turn it around. Yeah, sure, bud. Anyways, let's keep playing. Like this guy's ridiculous. This Joe Kent guy is, for me, on the surface. I hope Sugar's getting a whiff of that, and hopefully the question that we were looking forward to, that I'm looking forward to, hopefully is in the tone that it should be. Honestly, because this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it hasn't been yet.
He asked him a good question. He did ask him a good question. Like, I want
No,
like
but
grill
he's
this
okay
fool.
with the answer he got. He's okay with the shitty answers.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dubster. Yeah, because it's the lack of follow up. It's like, okay, great question, but like, where do we go? Like, why do you?
Yeah, fair
Like,
enough.
you got to hang on. Got to be like a dog with a bone. Anyway,
I've not seen this, so you know what? Personally, I'll be fair and see if he asks like a follow up. But who knows? All right, here we go. It's good content, Sugar. Good job, Sugar. You won the content. Congratulations, man. All right, here we go.
W's in the chat.
Here we go.
So something I've noticed here is about Witkoff. I don't know what to make of Witkoff. I'm hoping that you can maybe
Witkoff thing
shed
was bullshit.
some light on
Witkoff.
this. I was
Anyway,
very
sorry.
optimistic about
matter.
Steve
We're
Witkoff
not
in the
here
early
for him.
days. Clearly, him and President Trump were willing to exert a lot of influence on the Israeli government to attain a ceasefire, but then it went away. Then we ended up with the 12-day war. You said you were optimistic about those negotiations. However, a member of the British government has basically said he thought that Witkoff and Jared Kushner were effectively acting like Israeli assets in their negotiations. So do you think that that's true? Are they Israeli assets? Are they working on our behalf? Is there some communication being lost in the flow here? What's your actual assessment as somebody who saw this a little bit more on the inside?
To my knowledge, both Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner were doing their best to get a deal. I mean, that's all I know. I wasn't in the negotiations, so I don't want to overinflate like what my access to negotiations were. I spent a good deal of time with Jared Kushner in the previous Trump administration, and I spent a good deal of time with Steve Witkoff in this administration. And I think that Steve Witkoff was working diligently from the time that even before President Trump was inaugurated onwards to develop the relationships necessary to get us a deal. And like I said before, I truly believe that there was a deal that was very, very, that was within our sights, within reach prior to the 12-day war. And the fact that the negotiations picked up after the 12-day war, it shows you where the Iranians' headspace was. I mean, we did Midnight Hammer, and the Iranians launched back an equal number of missiles at the far end of a base in Qatar they knew was empty, and within short order, I mean, they were right back at the negotiating table.
Yeah, well,
how does he not have questions about Witkoff and fucking Kushner in regards to all of this? Like, in fact, attacks have happened surrounding their little meetings in Oman with Iranian leadership or Iranian representatives. So, like, I don't understand how they're like safe in regards to this, in regards to people that are whispering in Trump's ears. Are you saying like Witkoff? Hold on. Is he saying that like? Is he saying like Witkoff? Is he saying like Witkoff and Jared Kushner like come back from these meetings, and then they're met by a buffer, Israeli buffer, like, hey guys, what'd you guys hear? Okay, we'll tell them. Don't worry about it. We'll talk to Trump. You guys go do your thing. We're gonna talk to Trump about like what you just told me. But they like lie to Trump, right? When they get the message from Kushner and Witkoff. Is that the idea? They buffer those guys? Because I don't get a sense of that as far as my understanding of things. I don't get a sense of that at all. So like, what is he talking about? It's like Witkoff's legit. Yeah, he's legit. He's like so close to a deal. But like, what happened then?
Jared Kushner.
Are you saying
his balls, bro?
Hold on, it's like,
I would.
Okay, got it. Got it, Harrison. I don't want to turn you down, man. Come on. Is Joe Kent saying that Witkoff or Kushner have as little access as he does when he was there? Like, man, we could never get like directly to the president. We could never directly talk to him. Right? Is he implying that? Do you know what I'm saying? Is Joe Kent saying that like, hey, Witkoff is a legit fucking negotiator, but he had no access to Trump? Just like Joe Kent is a legit counterterrorism expert, but had no access to Trump. Is that what he's saying?
Jordan,
kind of?
Can you take this? Look at his hair. Can you take this man seriously, for real? Do you really think he's a veteran? I mean, he is, but he isn't.
Harrison. Okay. But you guys got my point, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of like who does have access to Trump at this point in regards to this story?
So far, what Joe Kent has told me with all this interview, and then you focus on this question. Here's what he said. Look, did you know that Israel has this intelligence agency called Mossad, and then they're also in the media?
Yeah, but
That's what he's told us in this whole interview.
I'm just saying, like Trump will make an announcement like, all right, I talked to one of my negotiators, Mr. Witkoff. I
don't
talked to
know
him.
nothing about Witkoff.
Was that a lie?
I don't know nothing about Witkoff. I don't know nothing about Witkoff, but Israel has this agency called Mossad.
It just like stands and like he says Witkoff is a good negotiator, but also like he would have to say like Witkoff has no access to Trump either, even though Trump says otherwise. It's like, okay, why would he say otherwise? Like on and so forth. The questions ask themselves essentially at this point, and Sugar should be a little bit more diligent about it. I'll be fair to him, but like still a little bit more diligent in regards to this stuff, Sugar, because the point isn't to make Joe Kent look like a good guy, right? The point is to like find the truth or at least a factoid, right? At least find something, right? As a quote unquote journalist, like, go find it. But all right, here we go.
Within short order, I mean, they were right back at the negotiating table.
Yeah, well, let's talk about this imminent threat. So that's another thing I've seen leveled against
Next
you.
question.
Imminent threat. Only the president, Mac, we can put Director Gabbard's statement up there on the screen. She said that the ODNI and I guess the office you used to work for, your job was really just to assess the intelligence. The only person who can determine what is and not an imminent threat
Typical
is the
question.
president. Do you believe that statement? Do you think that statement? Because clearly you're saying that there was
Like
no
a
imminent
character
threat,
question.
and I'm assuming you had access to the same level of intelligence.
I hope.
I mean, this is one of the reasons why I had to resign. I think this is, I believe the DNI is speaking the truth. She's at the end of the day, the president was elected by the American people. So if the president wants to say like, my tolerance for imminent is anybody pointing a weapon generally in our direction, well, okay, you're the boss, you're the commander in chief. I don't agree with that, and I had to resign because basically, if that's the bar that we're going to have, then we're going to need to start a lot more wars with a lot more countries. I think when you assess intelligence, there's intent versus capability. I think that's absolutely key. There's a lot of people who intend to do us harm, who are just some guy yelling on the internet, and they have no capability. And then there's other actors that have the capability to do us harm, and they don't have the intent. Again, we had so much data, even over 20 years of conflict with the Iranians, but especially under President Trump and the post-Qasem Soleimani strike era of seeing what the Iranians' escalatory ladder was, but especially since the 12-day war. I mean, so at this juncture, when we had negotiators back at the negotiating table, it was pretty clear that the Iranians weren't going to do a preemptive strike on us, that they weren't going to strike unless they were, stricken first by the Israelis. And the Israelis knew this, which is why they took the action that they did.
Right. So, okay, let's talk about Trump now. I'm saying this from a very visceral feeling. I truly understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to influence President Trump. You did resign in protest because you ultimately felt you can't serve. But per your reasoning, it's to try and influence Trump.
I need lawyers like
Much
Sugar.
of the meta-narrative here
No,
is
he resigned
about how the
because he's a
Israelis
bigot,
manipulated
money whore.
Trump.
Oh my God.
Good pause.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead, Ears.
He's saying nothing.
Please.
No.
I'm sorry.
He decided he's going to make, because they shut him out. He
his-
decided, I'm going to make more money doing this.
He's extra
Wearing my
irritating
fucking-
today for some
I'm
reason.
gonna
Oh, I'm
wear
sorry. Keep
plaid
talking.
And look like a fucking redneck.
Yeah.
I feel
Let him.
so bad.
Halfway
I feel
down
so
and
bad.
put on the
Don't
fucking
you hate when that
Gen
happens
Z
when somebody
fucking
talks while
haircut.
you're talking?
Come out here with my clavicular jaws and be like, ooh,
Fuck you, Harrison.
I'm so fucking hip. He's going to run for something. I guarantee it. He's going to write a book.
Real
Okay,
Harrison,
all right.
do not drive.
All right,
Do not
next.
drive tonight.
And
Just because you fix your
onward.
truck does not mean you got to drive it tonight.
All right, we're going onward now. Onward.
Well, I'm sorry that you have to drive at night. I'm just talking about this fool that, yeah, he might be. I
At
don't
night.
know.
Tonight.
I don't know. He
While
might
he's
be
talking,
special
I'm just
forces.
leaving him back real fast.
He doesn't look like it to his entire military career, but okay. And I
Hey, who
think,
knows,
he
man?
tried to-
Mystery.
I think he went after Pete, and I think Pete was like, I remember when they went after me for that same shit, and now you're fucked. I think that's exactly what happened.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Let's keep it moving. Here we go.
And what you're trying to do, you're trying to influence President Trump. You did resign in protest because you ultimately felt you can't serve. But per your reasoning, it's to try and influence Trump. Much of the meta-narrative here is about how the Israelis manipulated Trump. But isn't Trump responsible? Like, he's the commander in chief. He chose to believe
There you
it.
go.
He could have called you if he wanted to. He could have called Gabbard. He could have listened to any of these people. He ultimately chose not to. Do you feel like you're stripping a little bit of agency away from the president by, I wouldn't say
There you
laying
go.
all the blame on the Israelis, but a lot of the blame on the Israelis?
I think we'll have plenty of time for that later on. I think right now we're in a crisis. And what I want the president to know
fucking
is that
What?
right now,
What the fuck? Hold on. Sorry. I'm hitting play again. On. Here we
Go
go.
ahead.
Agency away from the president by, I wouldn't say laying all the blame on the Israelis, but a lot of the blame on the Israelis.
I think we'll have plenty of time for that later on. I think right now we're in a crisis. And what I want the president to know is
Hit
that
pause.
right
So
now,
you're done
and
laughing.
probably for the
This made me
Hit
freak
pause
out.
so you're done laughing.
2 weeks, but maybe even less time, he has time to turn this thing around. So that's the most important thing to me. That's the most important
Atta
message I want
boy.
to get out. At the end of the day, he is the commander in
Turn
chief, and
this
he
thing
understands
around.
that.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
I'm convinced.
I'll back up and play it again. My bad.
I'm convinced. Pete Hegseth put the nail in his coffin. I think he was the one that did it.
Okay, Harrison. Let's let
I
this
think
play.
they were competitors.
All right, fair enough.
I guarantee it. Because they're very similar. It's just one has got more power than the other.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's let this play out. I'm gonna self-mute. Here we go.
Laying all the blame on the Israelis, but a lot of the blame on the Israelis.
I think we'll have plenty of time for that later on. I think right now we're in a crisis. And what I want the president to know is that right now, I mean, probably for the next, hopefully 2 weeks, but maybe even less time, he has time to turn this thing around. So that's the most important thing to me. That's the most important message I want to get out. At the end of the day, he is the commander in chief, and he understands that. And that's why I think for him to truly capture all of his power back and for him to actually govern based on the mandate that 77 million people gave him, I think if he reflects right now on the way that this whole debacle happened and we got into the state that we're in right now with the Straits of Hormuz in peril and the price of energy and no end in sight, I think the main focus has to be on getting him to change course. So I guess we'll have this conversation again later to say, who deserves blame later on. But right now, my focus is on hopefully getting him the space to change his mind.
I see the tactical.
This is
I'm gonna avoid that question. We'll avoid that question and say he could just turn this around.
I'm wrecked. Actually, what an answer. We'll see in time. Like, what?
It's not right now. Let's not do that. We're in an emergency. Okay. Like, do you not see the flashing lights? The alarm going off? Okay. Yeah.
We don't need to worry about accountability right
We
now.
can't teach you how to swim while you're sinking. Okay. We gotta get you out of the water.
He knows 77 million people voted for him. He could do what he wants to do, but we're not going to put accountability to him right now. We'll let him figure out how to get accountability back on his own time and space.
Didn't he take a drastic decision to quit his job over this stuff on paper, like allegedly, right? But like this is his answer for this, for real?
Do you see why I'm asking the questions I'm asking?
Shouldn't he be
because this doesn't make any sense?
Shouldn't he be desperately trying to change things around according to the narrative he gave us?
Would you want to go against Trump, like for reals?
Yes.
Stay in office. You'd want to get fired. You wouldn't want to continue your career and get
he's already
fired.
Nonstop
whatever.
lambasted.
No, he quit.
By the president. I know that's what I'm talking about.
Harrison is implying that he's saving face by quitting. He's saving face instead of being fired.
He's gonna get another.
He's implying, but I think that's bullshit. Come on, Harrison. I will turn
Harrison,
you down.
his whole claim.
Look at him.
Mark Levin says that too.
Hold on, Harrison. His whole claim is, I quit to tell Trump he's fucking up, but I don't want to tell Trump, look, you have agency. Why are you not fucking using your agency?
He never had the
discuss
respect
that right now.
to
He's
the
busy.
people underneath him.
He's very
to begin
busy.
with.
Okay.
And at the
Time
same
will
time,
tell.
He was like,
Brilliant.
He was like,
We'll
you know
talk about
what?
that later.
This guy's a fruitcake. He wants to be a fucking
Not right
politician.
now. Read the
And
room,
Pete wants to be a
Saagar.
politician too.
This is an emergency.
So they're very young.
Trump knows he's commander in chief.
Hang on a bit.
You gotta look
Sorry,
at
dude.
the youth angle. The youth angle. The youth angle is important. Look at them both. They're both the same person.
Okay.
Look, I'm gonna quit my job and protest because
Yes.
Trump is not acknowledging that he
You don't know the
has
structure.
his own.
You don't know the structure of the government, bro. There's people underneath Joe Kent that are more competent than he is. There's people underneath. What's his name again?
You're not listening to what I'm saying,
That are
man.
more competent.
Dude, he's not listening to
they're
anybody.
more
He's just
competent
talking.
than
Yeah,
this.
he's
Like literally,
just-
that's why I turned him
And there's
down.
gonna
Like
be a
I'm not
fight.
interested in like
And this was
just
the fight,
being talked
and
at.
somebody
Like it's not
lost,
fun,
and it was
you know.
gonna be
Like if
Joe Kent.
you're not like actually engaging with the person back and forth, I don't really want to talk to you.
I don't think he
Sorry.
knows he's talking at people. I don't think he understands that at all. But it is what it is.
No, but it's like, but there's got to be like a back and forth,
Well,
right,
what
of
am
some
I-
sort. You
what am
can't
I
just like
supposed to
go
understand?
and go. It's
I
like,
know how
hello, did you
government
hear me?
politics work.
It's like, what? It's like, are you here?
I know.
Like, do you, I don't know. It's
the system,
confusing.
you don't.
but
You guys are just
anyway.
fucking pulling shit out of your ass. I know there's competition. I know there's fucking
Okay,
dealing.
let me
If I
put
turn
it like
Harrison
this
down, I'll
for
start
you,
playing
Harrison.
metrics. So
Hold
it
on.
works
Let
out.
me try and explain this. Harrison, has there ever been something that was so important to you consider quitting the job?
Why are we focusing towards Harrison at all?
I
Hold
don't
on.
care. I'm
saying-
sorry.
Let me have this
I'm sorry. I really
honestly.
don't. I apologize. I don't really care about this.
Here-
Can you guys go to another
Here-
room to talk about it then?
here-
Like, if you really need to talk together, because I just don't really give a fuck about Harrison's whatever the fuck he's doing. It's
I'm
annoying.
gonna quit.
Sorry.
Let's get on with the video. Not playing it. I want to talk more about this little scenario.
And people got indicted later, and that's the important thing to understand. Because I won in the end.
Okay, man, you won. All right. So, anyways,
I
like
don't even know
with
what
this
you guys are
particular,
talking about.
come on, man,
You're talking about this.
Harrison, I don't want to turn you
this
down, dude.
bastard.
Dude, I don't want to turn you down. Please, man,
A.
find your
We gotta listen to this asshole some
moments
more.
to say something, man. Don't just flirt over everyone. You know.
Yeah, I need to focus up. Okay.
Thank you. But yeah, this moment right here between the question I was asked and then the response to it, I think is, what else, like in my mind, like what else do you actually need in regards, like, is this Joe Kent guy like for real, legit? Is he actually protesting? Was it courageous for him to quit? Like, I don't get a sense of any of that, really. I get more of a sense of, I mean, man, I could believe. Hold on, Harrison, dude. Hold on, man.
Paradigm.
Okay, I can hear that. I personally get the sense of like he's now he's like Dan Bongino almost. Like you quit or you leave, and then you go on your podcast or interviews, whatever the fuck you do, and just spill out propaganda of how awesome the Trump administration is as they're fucking up in real time, right? The situation is fucked according to Bongino in regards to Epstein, right? And as far as Joe Kent in regards to Iran, it's fucked. But the guys that have their hands on the levers are apparently relinquished from those responsibilities. They're doing the best they can, considering that Israel is trying to stop them or whatever the fuck.
I think this guy was intentionally kept out of the loop because they knew he's a fruitcake. I mean, look at him. Dan Bongino's not a fruitcake.
What were you saying, Dubster?
He'll suplex your ass.
Yeah, sure he will.
By the way, Dan Bongino is now dropped in the ranking of Republican influencers to 91st from 4th.
You know what? Good for him. That's a W, I think. That's a win. Need to celebrate that one. But yeah, time will tell. It's like, didn't you quit your fucking job over this? Didn't you? That you claimed is like so important to you. You quit your job over this, just to say like, well, give him time. You didn't give him time. You fucking quit. So like on the surface, it's just like bullshit, stupid shit, off rep.
You guys don't look at this guy's face. It looks like a fucking wrinkled walnut, and chicks think it's hot. That's why he's gonna be the next mayor or fucking governor.
Got it. All right.
Nope, you don't believe me? You watch. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, like Sugar should be wrecked, I think, but I don't think he is. Right? He's gonna move on to the next question, isn't he? Let's hear where he goes, just in case. Just in case.
It's like, look at my
Harrison, just in case.
Vote for me.
Just in case, we're gonna hear Sugar out. Let's hear some Sugar. Here we go.
Sugar.
That's right.
Focuses on hopefully giving him the space to change his mind.
Give him the space
I
to
see the
change his
tactical
mind.
approach that you're trying to make here with Trump. And again, I really do respect it. It is just that I guess, we're in different positions here because my relative confidence for that happening is basically zero. What's your confidence on that?
Okay.
I have hope. I hope and I pray. If any leader can change his mind and change it decisively and rapidly, it's President Trump. And then
and more wreckage, and there is extra wreckage. Thank you.
Rachel Maddow would have said, "I have hope and I have dreams that Obama will change his mind on something I support." So what?
Sugar should wreck his shit right now. He should, but I don't think he will. I think he's too pussy for that shit, bro. He doesn't have it in him, honestly. I think wants to conduct a very nice interview, very pleasant interview. You could do this without being rude, by the way. You just ask simple follow-up questions. That's all. Just be ask questions, because the answers they don't make sense in reality. They don't make any sense. What Joe Kenton's saying, they make zero fucking sense. And Sugar should be able to read that or decipher that.
I want to know if Sebs would vote for this man should he run for office.
I'm gonna say no,
Because
but
Sebs
I don't speak
Harrison
for
has a question for you.
I don't give a shit. I don't want to know.
What are you
No,
gonna do,
I'm sorry.
Sebs? You gonna vote for this guy?
I don't care.
Once he's supposed to get out
I don't want
I think it's a beyond absurd question,
Because that's what's
personally.
gonna happen.
I don't want to know.
This is the whole purpose of this.
Thank you, though.
This
Thanks for
entire fucking
playing.
weird thing he's doing.
All right, dude. All right, let's keep playing. Here we go.
He's a bad man. He might be a very good man. I don't know. But he got fired because people underneath him didn't trust him.
So, if there was a president that could change, it would be Trump, apparently, that would adapt to the questions being asked to him. Even though the questions have been asked to him, and he's reasserted his devil worshipping policy. But, okay, let's hear it. Here we go.
Confidence for that happening is basically zero. What's your confidence on that?
I have hope. I hope and I pray. If any leader can change his mind and change it decisively and rapidly, it's President Trump.
Oh, okay.
And then sell it to the American people. There's a lot of red lines. I know you and Tucker discussed them, that we need a total surrender. There has been a lot of bellicose rhetoric.
Israel gonna let him change
gives
his
me
mind?
concern, because total surrender it means only one of two things. We're going to go in and ground invade for the next, I don't know, however long it takes to conquer Iran. I don't want to find out. Or we're going to use something more drastic like a nuclear weapon, or allow the Israelis to do so.
Conquer Iran?
However, if anyone can turn that around, it is President Trump, because he is decisive. People take him seriously. The Iranians will take him seriously. The Israelis will take him seriously.
He still works for them.
Look,
he still fucking works for them, bro. Straight up.
I told you. That's what I'm.
He fucking works for them, bro.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Up.
Okay, yeah, because I'm not crazy. This guy, are you sure you don't work for Trump?
He still works for the Trump administration. That is so.
He doesn't want.
I think that's fucking patently obvious now.
They still have power over him. They still have power over his communications. They could rock his world anytime they want. So he's got to kiss some ass a little bit. You've never worked in state government, or
I have not.
Government, so you don't know.
Sure. Anyways, I mean that screams. It begs questions very deeply. It begs a lot of questions. Once again, that's me saying that, blurting it out in a way, but I'm sorry, that's where everything he says leads me towards. It all points that direction. That this guy he's a Dan Bongino, a PR guy on the outside, quote unquote, on the outside. All right, he screams that to me. Because how is he so many different accolades of integrity and honor and courageousness and intelligence and negotiating skills? How's he all those things, but also just a dupe that fell for Fox News and Mark Levin? How do you hold those two things up at the same time? That makes no fucking sense.
And that's why
it's gonna work on someone. Shut the Opeth. It's gonna work on someone now. It's yo, this can't work, guys. Sugar, what are you hearing here, Sugar? Come on, right? You can't let this fucking fly. And guess this actually the thing that Harrison is actually getting correct, in my opinion, is that this guy's gonna like run for office on this, on like shit like this. Like,
He's already
like, hey, I quit. I quit when during the Iran war stuff because I'm against the Iran war stuff, even though he's not. But he'll say that. And guess what? Actually, the whole time, it was Israel the whole time. See? But I won't be tricked. See, I have courage to say like the real things out loud. Listen, you're not allowed to say these things, but guess what? I'm gonna say them. Israel's doing this because that's so courageous to fucking say out loud. Congratulations.
Well, Trump wasn't going to be tricked when he was first running because he knew about all these wars, and Obama wasn't going to get tricked when he was running because he knew about these wars, and they all did pretty shitty.
Jesse, don't remind me of that this guy had like we're in his second term, not his first one. We're in Trump's second term. Don't remind me of that shit, bro. How dare you? Because then you extra realize, like, wait a minute, he had a run, and he didn't do so great. He fucked it up actually, and now he revamps his new administration with this, I guess, a more aggressive version of the first one. Same
Right?
fuck ups.
I mean, like people know more when they're running than when they're in office. Somehow they just don't. They're not aware when they're in office of the trickery, but they know before they get in.
I'm
that they
going.
shouldn't
I'm going with
do it.
portals, Jesse. Dimensional portals. He enters the office, and boom, the mind is like wiped or something like that, and magic. And anyways, it's a play. Here we go.
I still have a lot of hope. I think it's possible.
Opium.
Joe, what's your assessment of the use of a nuclear weapon? Do you believe that it's a
What?
possibility by the United States or by Israel?
By the
Card
United States, I would say
questions,
it's
sugar?
relatively low. However,
What are we doing?
the Israelis are the wild
What was his
card. If
answer?
you
I
would
didn't
have
hear
asked
that.
me,
Go back.
Index card fucking questions? Come on, sugar. You just heard some like wild shit. Respond to it like a person
I
does.
want to hear what this mouthpiece. I want to hear what this mouthpiece says about if we're gonna use nukes.
All right, here we go.
Joe, what's
This is the
your
last part.
assessment of the use of a nuclear weapon? Do you believe that it's a possibility by the United States or by Israel?
by the United States, I would say it's relatively low. However, the Israelis are the wild card. If you would have asked me
Oh, look at that.
before they shot cruise missiles or they shot ballistic missiles at Qatar when we had active negotiations going on, I would have said there's no way they would do that. But they did. If you would have told me a year ago that the Israelis were just going to attack Iran to get us entrenched in the conflict, I'd be like, no, I don't think that they would do that. The Israelis view the threat from Iran as existential. They also believe that this is a very, very limited time that they have to affect the result they want, which is regime change, and not regime change in the way that Americans.
Oh, wait. Why is it a
Okay,
limited
so
time?
he's now
No, what does he mean by
operating.
that? Hold on. What does he mean by that, though? What does he mean by like this is a window for Israel to actually do these attacks? What does he mean by that? Does he mean like the Trump years? They have a window to do these things? Is that what he's saying? What does he mean by that? Like, what does he mean by like a limited, like, here's a little window to do this thing, a little time period to do this thing? What does he mean? What does he mean by that? I'm very curious. If you have any guesses, anyone.
Can you go back a little bit? I'd have to hear it
I
again.
think it's tied to Trump. It was like snuck in there personally, but here we go.
All right.
I'd be like, no, I don't think that they would do that. The Israelis view the threat from Iran as existential. They also believe that this is a very, very limited time that they have to affect the result they want, which is regime.
Why is it limited like that? Why, Joe Kent?
Because they've decided, because that's what intelligence is telling them, and this is the thing that they keep repeating, is that this is the limited amount of time while Iran is down. They need to like go and pummel them to the ground, blow them to smithereens. Because right now, like all their shit's fucked up.
Now wait a minute, because I heard.
But I don't know how real that it yeah.
I heard reports and ideas that like, the Trump administration is the perfect time period to do these things. I heard that, and I think that is actually the stereotypical answer in regards to what he just said right there.
Yeah, that's the State Department line. That's what I'm saying. What he's saying is what the State Department is saying, in that with this topic specifically, of why now, right?
Yeah,
like the urgency.
I think it's because Trump's
for
in office.
Israel to.
I think that's the actual stereotypical answer.
Well, Trump and Bibi as well, right?
Yeah,
Well, and it's
both
also
of them.
because
Yeah, true.
well, because he's also saying, oh, because Trump is more decisive and he's like willing to do what the others weren't, right? Like he is willing to kind of punch you in the face, like you were saying. Like he's
more willing
means
to
business.
overtly do what. I mean, they were already doing it before, but like he's overtly doing the thing,
Mhm.
and thus this is the perfect time period.
Yeah.
So
Because it's kind of like jungle
acknowledge-
rules. Like there's no like I don't know. It's almost like primal the way that they're acting.
So-
It's very unrefined compared to the other psychopaths in
Yeah.
the Democratic Party.
So from within this question, he did acknowledge what you were saying, like he ignored earlier with the Wickoff thing about the attacks during the meetings. So he does know about that.
No. The Qatar thing is not Iran. That's Hamas. When Israel attacked some buildings in Qatar, those were Hamas
Oman.
negotiations.
He was talking about Oman
He said Qatar.
when we negotiate Oman.
He said Qatar, which means Hamas. Hamas negotiations with
Where did we
Witkoff and these
do our
fucking-
negotiations? Where did we do our negotiations with Iran?
Oman, I believe, or they were the mediators. I don't know the exact location, but Oman was the.
I'm pretty
the
sure I heard
mediators.
Oman.
He said
Pretty sure he
Qatar.
said Oman.
I'll back up. He says Qatar. I can see it right there.
The Israelis are the wild card. If you would have asked me before they shot cruise missiles or they shot ballistic missiles at Qatar when we had active negotiations going on, I would have said there's no way they would do that.
That's in regards to Hamas.
Okay.
And well, yeah, that was Hamas. That was those negotiations. Like, oh, we got these leadership guys like in one spot. All right, let's blow this place up. Was the on the surface narrative of that? But yeah. Fuck. Got my point, but whatever. It's not important. All right, let's apply. There we go.
But they did. If you would have told me a year ago that the Israelis were just going to attack Iran to get us entrenched in the conflict, I'd be like, no, I don't think that they would do that.
Another bullshit
The
thing.
Israelis view the threat from Iran as existential. They also believe that this is a very, very limited time that they have to affect the result they want, which is regime change, and not regime change in the way that Americans think about it. Americans think about regime change in the way we go in and we take out the leader, we put in a new guy or whatever, and then we're kind of done with it. The Israelis don't really care what happens to Iran. They just want the Ayatollah and the IRGC degraded or just completely taken out. And if chaos ensues from there, chaos in the Straits of Hormuz, the country fracturing into a bunch of different warring factions, a migration crisis into Europe, they don't really care because in their minds, they've taken away the threat. And from the Israeli perspective...
Hey, pause.
No, God.
I want to see Sean Ryan interview this guy.
Sean fucking Ryan, another mediocre commentator, but fair enough. No, fair enough. I think he's another mediocre guy, another late to the game person.
Yeah, Sean Ryan, from what I've heard,
to the deal.
Oh, Anthony, you missed the wreckage already.
From what I heard, he disappoint Harrison. What I've been hearing Sean Ryan talking about lately, he would disappoint Harrison.
In what sense?
You sure about
that? His against the stuff.
Yeah, he pivoted. Yeah, he's like they fucking lied to us. Why the fuck are we attacking Iran? He's not with any of this shit.
In words, at least, he's not.
In words, yes, because he's doing the Israel angle thing.
Of course.
Sure.
You know, I'm gonna watch it if it happens.
Wait, can you go back to this timestamp? But can you play that part for Anthony?
Sean Ryan's gonna.
No. Let him finish the video though. He can play it.
Wait. I've had Harrison.
Where you at? What did you do? How many people did you
Please
kill?
turn Harrison down.
Did you get shot?
I'm sorry. I'm like pro turning Harrison down now.
I can't.
That's where I'm at.
That perfect hair.
That's your problem.
It's all
So
gelled up.
you can go ahead and
Look at
deal.
your
I've already
fucking
turned him down.
Trudeau eyebrows.
Thank
And your clavicular
He's like
jaws.
extra anointed. Are you like on
All
extended
sexy.
release Adderall
Talking about
today?
how
Like what's
Trump
going on?
screwed me and then I'm gonna kiss Trump's eye.
Like I need you to go back to your
Extended
Quick note.
release.
Okay.
Look,
The
well,
first
all right. Anyways, fuck, I forgot my point again, but I'll get it from these words. Here we go.
You know, the country fracturing into a bunch of different warring factions, a migration crisis into Europe. They don't really care because in their minds, they've taken away the threat. And from the Israeli perspective, I understand that, but that's where it has to be clear.
Sorry, I have to back up.
Israelis don't really care what happens to Iran. They just want the Ayatollah and the IRGC degraded or just completely taken out. And if chaos ensues from there, chaos in the Straits of Hormuz, you know, the country fracturing into a bunch of different.
Okay. My point was going to be about, like, well, I think the same guy this guy right here, Joe Kent on screen, would make the argument that, like, well, Israel mooches off the U.S., right? They mooch off our money supply and our weaponry supply, right? So the Strait of Hormuz closing would be a detriment to them, too, because Big Daddy that makes so many business deals throughout in regards to the Strait of Hormuz and all that stuff. So they couldn't be fully like, I don't give a fuck about the Strait of Hormuz. I don't care about these economic things that are happening in regards to this situation. Fuck that. Who cares? I like, listen, these guys suck. We don't like them. Get rid of them. I don't care what the economic, outcome is. But I think this same guy would say like a narrative of saying like, well, these guys also rely on us for, financially rely on us and militarily in regards to their weaponry. And, what's the idea of, like, hey, listen, Israel has free healthcare based from U.S. money, but you don't have that, do you? Right? Which is like a narrative right now. So, because I'm just saying, like, I think this guy would say that, right? He'd say, like, well, these guys they get $3 billion a year, $4 billion a year, right? And so, thus, the U.S. economic situation is importantly attached to this whole scenario in regards to Israel itself, according to probably this guy. I haven't heard him say that, but like I believe that he would think that based on all the stereotypes I'm hearing so far, anyways. But whatever. All right, I have to leave and come back real fast. Sorry. YouTube. All right, here we go.
From warring factions, a migration crisis into Europe. They don't really care because in their minds, they've taken away the threat. And from the Israeli perspective, I understand that, but that's where we have to be clear-eyed as Americans and say us and our partners, who we may like in some regards, have very, very different strategic goals here, and we have to pursue our interests.
Mm-hmm. So you are worried about an Israeli nuclear use?
I certainly am. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's talk then a little bit about, this escalation. This is one of the reasons here that you decided to resign. What I'm curious is in this escalation, there was a lot of speculation. Joe Kent's resignation means a ground invasion is coming. Can you clear that up? I mean, do you think a ground invasion is coming? What's your personal assessment?
Okay.
I don't know any secret. I don't know any military plans. I couldn't give them up even if I did. But the president has said all options are on the table. And one thing I do know from being in combat for most of my adult life is that things can change very, very quickly. And there's decisions you think that you're going to have time to make, but you don't necessarily have that time. And if you have capabilities deployed, they tend to be used. I mean, if military commanders feel that their troops are in danger, or if they've been given a military objective of, hey, we need to take out all the ballistics, we need to take out the Iranian Navy, we need to take out the IRGC, and they have those resources on hand, they'll deploy them. Look, I respect everybody that's at CENTCOM right now. I spent most of my life in the CENTCOM AOR, but CENTCOM is a very big war machine. And that's a good thing if you can actually rein them in. However, what I've learned in 20 plus years of seeing this play out is that if you give CENTCOM vague guidance or even kind of like relatively specific guidance, Like they're gonna run until you yank them back in. It's what they do. You've got to be able to really tame that lethal machine,
Right.
and that's what makes me nervous right now. Where this could happen really quickly.
So my assessment, this is based on several sources, people who I've spoken to. What I'm told is that I see a lot of Pentagon leaders. They've come out anonymously and they're leaking. They're like, no, we warned Trump about the Straits of Hormuz. From what I know, that's not 100% true. Again, I am not absolving Trump of any responsibility. They certainly told him that it was going to be a potential issue, but they sold a much more optimistic vision at the beginning. And this is not just the Israelis. This is also our own chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff.
What was that? I didn't hear that.
Saagar saying the same thing about kind of like, oh, they sold him.
Yeah. His inner circle like tricked him or lied to him or whatever.
Yeah. They tricked him. It was going to be quick and easy.
wait, but that was like the thing. Like once again, Michael Tracy brought up Michael Tracy, Joe Kent, and Alex Jones, right? Of like, hey, he got so much confidence from Venezuela that he embellished. And like thought he could just do the same thing with Iran. I'm like, what an excuse! Holy shit!
Well, it's not confidence; it's part of his plan.
No, I'm saying like what they're saying
is to be a long war. They're just saying it's going to be short.
He wants to cut off China, and Trump's.
It'll be a couple days.
Or are you going to wait for the midterms to try to impeach him? It's going to be too late.
I have seen that claim.
Down fucking China too.
First you said 4 to 5 weeks, right? And then it became, September. It's going to become a year. Like, a couple years. Either way, if it ends short, it's going to end in disaster based on like the circumstances that we're looking at right now. It's going to be a disaster if it ends quote unquote shortly. It'll be horrendous.
You live in the USA, so you should support this. It's going to
help. How does that logic work?
He just asked Harrison about logic. That's crazy.
Harrison, did you support the Iraq war?
Harrison and logic.
Yes.
Bro, what a joke.
I support taking care of muzzies the way they're supposed to be taken care of.
Muzzies,
but that's besides the point. What I'm talking about is what do we got here? The oil supply. Take down Venezuela. Cuba shuts down. They got no energy right now, right? They don't. They need our help. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait until they die.
We've been waiting for 80 years.
At the same time, we're gonna take down fucking Iran's energy, and we're gonna wait. And we're gonna wait. They're still gonna have shit underground that they can.
Horrendous
blast,
assessment, Harrison. All right, we're onward.
Your plan is to make enemies of the entire world.
Without the energon cubes.
That's your plan.
Shut up.
You could do better, Harrison. You don't actually, Harrison. You don't engage with like what's being said in the room at all, and that's where your problem is. You can disagree, just engage with it, but you don't actually do that. You just stop. You stomp over it.
No, he just wants other people to listen, and then he can just talk, and then you don't have, like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's fucking weird.
He engaged with me by telling me to shut up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it gets old after a while. It's like, hey, do you want to like actually have a conversation, or is just I don't know. Are you okay?
But Russia hates China because they're white people, and that's important to understand.
Russia hates China because they're white people. Huh?
And China hates Russia because
which ones are the white
China's
ones?
Never actually met an actual white person.
All right.
Because of the Mongolians.
Because of the Mongolians.
Interbred with the Russians, and they're all fucking half Chinese. So that's the problem we're working with.
All right, Harrison.
So
I'm hitting the move. Let's move on button.
We cut off Venezuela, right? We did that. We got their oil.
Venezuela gets a cut of that, but I say let's keep it moving, Harrison.
So now Cuba's got to go down. They got to surrender, and they'll be like, "Okay, Trump, you win."
One day, Harrison, you will engage with these ideas, but right now you're not doing it.
Well, no, I'm doing just fine. And then
he's like, "No, I'm doing just fine. I'm doing good."
We take fucking power infrastructure, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Iran's got no more oil. We can't shoot any more missiles.
So Jordan,
and then China's like, Jesus
what's
Christ,
up, Anthony?
we got no fucking oil from anybody. And Russia's like, well, you got to buy from us now.
Gotta wait
and
shut up.
That leaves us and Russia back at square one.
I think someone should take that and make an
So all
animation
this is
out
for
of it.
nothing.
It'd be hilarious.
1991 style, us in Russia. That's where it
Did you say
belongs.
Israel has healthcare? I heard you. What?
I have
So-
heard the plan
They're
that
working for communists, Harrison.
Harrison just outlined. I've heard it before.
Oh my god, Anthony, what were you saying?
Yeah, we're gonna fucking rock those fucking Russians.
Listen, Harrison.
That's the-
Tony's talking.
that's
All
the
right,
goal.
let Tony talk. Go
You will
ahead,
listen.
Tony.
Come on now, you know I'm right. You
Go
know
ahead.
I'm right.
Go ahead,
Let's
Tony.
talk
So
about the
I was gonna say
You
something
think
funny.
Trump cares about Venezuela? You
Okay.
think Trump cares about fucking Iranians?
So
Shit.
Well, Harrison's
Fuck
not being
those
funny,
guys.
so you go ahead.
Mark
He wants to
Lamont
go to
Hill.
China.
Mark
And the
Lamont
way
Hill.
they do it
Hill
is
is on
he's going to cut off
on
their
Joe
fucking
Rogan,
energy.
the Joe Budden podcast now.
We
Like
got
he's
our
a
own energy, bro.
A mainstay, or
he's a mainstay, yeah. And
Yeah.
Joe Budden,
A
he asked the
mainstay
same
from
thing.
Walmart.
He asked the same thing Harrison did. Like, yo,
China-made.
he's like
For
the
now.
U.S. is your
It's gonna
buddy.
end. I'm telling you right
He's
now.
drunk in the club, and he bumps into somebody, and they start fighting. You want your mans to win, right? That's what he
By the
asked.
way, we're the biggest exporter of gas and
Boy,
liquid
your boy's in a
natural
fight.
gas,
You want
gas,
your boy to
oil,
win, right?
Everything.
You're American,
what?
so you want your go to win.
Harrison,
on
like,
a-
dude,
on
come
a
on,
move.
dude. Harrison, please, come on, man.
I can't focus up because I know where it's going. I can see the future.
Just press play. Just press play.
We take out Iran.
We're almost done, audience. Anyone listening?
Fucking China and Russia.
We're almost
are
done.
fucked.
I'm sure he's gonna get to like Charlie Kirk very soon or whatever. All right, here we go. Fuck my
I'm
life,
speaking
dude.
about specifically. And the narrative, again, that I've been told is that the people who did share that view were excised from their command, which you could see. It's public knowledge. It's been reported out there. I'm curious for what you heard about the way that that went down, many of those critical meetings in the Situation Room.
Yeah, I think the imagery that's been publicly released is very telling. Where you had one small group that was down in Mar-a-Lago that night, and then you had the rest up at the Situation Room at the time. Look, in the lead up to the
Results
12-day
decided that-
war,
that night.
we were having very robust debates that were part of the National Security Council process. The principal small group, we'd have the deputies committee meetings, we'd have very robust debates with all 18 intelligence agencies, with the Joint Chiefs staff, etc. And that played out over the course of about a month in the lead up to the 12-day war, and to include ahead of Midnight Hammer, where a lot of us said, okay, fine, if you bomb these sites, that's all well and good. We take out Iran's ability to enrich. That meets our strategic objective. Problem is, the Israelis are going to come right back to us in a couple months and demand more, because their goal is regime change. Like, they're not beating around the bush about this. And so that was
thought
known.
that was the Trump
And so
administration, too.
from my optic
whatever.
in the lead up to this last iteration, that process didn't play out. And people
Got
can
it.
say, oh, Kent doesn't know because just he wasn't invited. But I can tell you, the robust
Mark
debate with the
Levin did that.
deputies committees, the National Security Council, that simply wasn't happening.
So to non-nerd speak, I think this is important. What you just laid out is a normal process. The Deputies Committee, Principals Committee, NSC, all options and views are presented to the president. Even the Iraq War, the most disastrous thing
Which
in the
means you had
world,
access, right?
or at least in my lifetime, that played out that way. That's how it
Joe
did.
Ken?
You can go and you can read about it. What you are talking about is effectively a bespoke process, which played out with some advisors down in Mar-a-Lago, others in the Situation Room. I guess you are confirming, by the way, the White House told us that there was nothing to be seen about that, but from your telling, obviously there was something that we could glean a little bit from that takeaway. So I do think it's
He is
very
kind
important
of
to say then
pushing
that
a
if some
little bit, at
bespoke
least.
process played out,
Kinda IQ
we have to
testing
really
him a little bit.
investigate that bespoke process and the information that was getting to Trump then and also now. And so I respect your want to not play the what was it, the palace intrigue story.
I understand.
But I will say for
You're
people like
lying to
me,
but
it is
Palace
deeply
intrigue.
frustrating to watch people who told us to our face privately and publicly, we're not going to do this. And then it happened. And what we've seen publicly reported is that when you took your concerns to the vice president and to the DNI, that they told you not to make a big thing about it. I wonder if you can comment about your frustration. First of all, if you can tell us whether that report is true or not, but really to tell us what that tension is like for the people who ostensibly did share those views and what they're doing right now and the way that they're even voicing any concern to Donald Trump.
In terms of the process, it was just frustrating to see the stark night and day difference. I got to a place where I was okay with Midnight Hammer because we had such a robust debate. And I've heard criticisms of me where they say, "Hey, if you don't like what the president's doing as one of his appointees, then go ahead and voice your opinion behind closed doors. Offer other options. When he smacks the table, you salute and move out." Okay, that was where I was at with the 12-Day War and with Midnight Hammer because our voices were heard. It was a robust debate, and at the end of the day, hey, we lose. Whatever, that's fine. Live the fight another day. This last iteration, like I said, that didn't play out. And even if they wanted to just kick me out, I've heard people say, well, they kicked Ken out because, whatever. He talked to Tucker Carlson or something. Okay, that's fine. But then there still was plenty of other deputies they could have had in that meeting. Actually, a pretty robust staff that would offer a wide variety of options. And I just didn't see that play out. And there is frustration with that internally. And like we talked about before, there's some guys who say, okay, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay, keep my eyes on target. And I think there's others that may be considering leaving. I obviously, I report to the NCTC director is kind of an odd job. You're a presidential appointee, president's chief counterterrorism advisor. So I technically report to the president, but then like for administrative functions, I'm also report to the DNI, but I'm also her counterterrorism advisor. And just, to be obviously, I think most people know, friends with Tulsi prior to being in these positions. I served as her chief of staff before I was confirmed. I ran the beachhead team and the landing team for her before she was confirmed. So we have a good relationship. I brought my frustrations to her over and over again. And then same thing, the vice president has always been, I'd say, giving me probably more time than he should. Very, very generous. He's got a lot of people that want to get in his ear, and he would always give me the time of day whenever I said I had a concern. So I'm deeply appreciative of that. And so, he would hear me out when it came time for me to resign. I wanted to do it the proper way. I said, hey, I'm happy to take my letter into the president and to resign to him if that's proper. I got to speak with the vice president one-on-one. The DNI joined us, and then later I got a phone call from the president.
Got it.
But that was the way it went down.
So then how did you make of it when
we had direct access to the VP, I guess, but couldn't get a second with Trump? You had to write a letter, I guess, to make that happen, or to voice his grievances. It just screams, once again, not some whistleblower. It doesn't scream some sense of some guy who's oh my God, this is wrong. Let me speak up about it. Not getting that sense either. And then when he's on the outside, right, he's not working there anymore. I get a sense of this guy bullshitting and excuse making.
It screams, I want an elected office in my future. That's what it screams.
Yeah.
I will run for something and win on my bona fides I'm building now.
Yeah.
He kind of
If
just
you go
boosted
back
Judy
to
too.
the beginning of this, I'm not saying to, but at the beginning of this question, the way he started, he was like, I got to a point where I was okay with Midnight Hammer, but and then he goes into his resume. That's about all he fucking did right there. And all the connections of the people that fired him. How the process of him getting canned works.
But this is so hindsight-ish. Let's be honest, as far as the average viewer in regards quote unquote Midnight Hammer, right? Of hey, a strike and we're done. A couple strikes, we're done, right?
Mind you, no one's asking him, and he's not talking about the bombing of the school.
Yes and yes. No one's asking, and he ain't fucking saying. He ain't going out of his way oh my God, this is the reason why I had to quit. This is not right. I'm out of here. Nowhere near his actual reasoning. It actually is about Israel. Straight up has been the most I've heard in regards to reasoning. The president has the wrong people in his ear, and I will quit and protest.
And they're all Israelis.
Yeah, they're all,
including Mark Levin and Sean Hannity.
He's not saying how unhinged Pete Hegseth is and dangerous he is. None of that.
Yeah.
No one's asking him either.
Yeah.
It's like very narrow questioning, and he stays well. He won't spill the tea on nothing. He stays well within the realm of the questions. He won't go anywhere. Yo, is Pete Hexter a good guy or bad guy? No one asked him. He ain't telling.
Well, that wouldn't be good if I answered that question for me. He said that at one point.
Oh, really?
That was
Yeah. I forgot what the
That was a
question
little bit
was, but
different.
that's how he started responding. He said, "Well, that would be good if I answered that question for me."
Pete Hexeth is like invoking the name of Christ in these fucking bombings as well. Like that's fucking weird. the picture of the Oval Office of these people praying over Trump as he's bombing fucking Iran, like
so embarrassing.
All of that. Yeah, it's like it didn't happen. All of that gets omitted. Like you got a fountain of information. Like yo, that's not top secret. You can give me your opinion on those things. Nope.
Exactly.
Won't ask, won't tell.
Wasn't there like a quiet thing of? I swear I just heard this from this guy from the show Ken guy. Wasn't there like a quiet like quasi endorsement of JD Vance or Judy Vance? Wasn't there like a quiet like this guy like he listened to me. He gave me a chance. I talked to him.
And
Tulsi, but I think more so JD Vance.
More of JD Vance, yeah. He's making JD Vance seem like, he's a real statesman. He wants to hear everybody out.
Like, JD knows what's going on, but like he's being very like, proper about it or whatever.
Yeah, already's not good enough. That's already like, yo, you're disqualified. Already.
Exactly.
That was what it was.
JD Vance is doing that.
Agency question that Anthony missed.
Yeah, he knows better. He knows better.
You gotta rewind that after this so he can hear that fucking question.
Yeah. Wait, when it's over. My bad. Yeah, when it's over.
No, good.
No, I'm done.
All right. Let's keep.
Did you hear me?
Yeah. Later. Yeah, I'll show up.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Here we go.
Call from the president.
Got it.
But that was kind of the way it went down.
So then how did you make of it when the president, Mac, I think we have this, he said he always thought you were weak on security. I mean, how does that feel personally? I assume you knew it was coming of some kind, but genuinely, like as a person who served your country, who served multiple combat tours, who lost your wife in combat, I mean, how does that feel? Does it make you question, how this all went down the last year, probably 2 years of your life that you dedicated to serving him, to helping him get elected?
Israel made him do it,
I mean,
right?
all things considered, I wrote a pretty pointed letter, and for him to say that, I'm weak on security, I've seen the president be much harder on people before. So, look, I kind of knew it was coming. People got to say what they got to say. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I had.
Dude, he said you got a small dick and you're gonna take that.
He called me, and I believe that we parted on good terms.
Okay. I mean, I think that.
Hey, I bet you did. I bet you did part on like good terms. I bet you did. But like what's his hold on
your wife.
real quick. Sorry, real quick. Like what is that about Joe Kent? Why would he do that? Why would he say like, oh, this guy's weak on certain things, on security or whatever? Why would he do that?
Correct me if I'm wrong. You might have to play that again. Did he say he said rougher things about me or other people?
Other people, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
that's actually worse.
Either way, it's
right.
Okay. What's making Trump do that? Is it his advisors, the Israeli dual citizens, like saying that to him? Like, what's making him do that?
Hey, Jordan. Let's find out what Saagar thinks about that. I bet you he won't. I bet you'll just skip.
He's probably gonna move on. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
Small PP.
How could you move on? That answer is like begging to have a follow up. How could you move on?
Well, the prior statement.
What if that's personal too, man?
Straight up.
What if that's actually personal? Like you lost your wife that you were in combat with, and you're weak on security. Like that's fucking the wrong kind of dig on somebody in that scenario.
Yes.
Optically looks bad.
Yes and no. Yeah, yes and no. I'm also not gonna deify him because he lost his wife. That's me though.
No, but I'm just saying. That is not. If I'm gonna insult somebody at a professional level of like trying to drag him, I wouldn't go in that direction.
Well, optically, it would look bad if this guy made a deal out of it, out of the whole thing. But he's not going to do that, right? He's not going to make this into a thing. So thus, it kind of fizzles away. It's like, oh, that's just Trump being Trump. Whatever.
Yeah, he took high ground.
And it's like, well, why would he do that? Like, once again, the whole premise is that it's someone in his ear telling him to do what he's doing, right? Guiding Trump to do what he's doing, right? It's like, okay, well, what was that for? Was that an advisor? Was that someone else doing it? Someone's like, oh my God, Joe Kent's a bad guy, Mr. Trump. Insult him. Was that the point? Like, explain that to me. And it makes no fucking sense in logic in regards to what Joe Kent is. Like, he's courageous. He's a smart guy. He just got played by these idiots over here. He got played by Israelis over here. It's like, even to go against you, and you're accepting it, instead of being like, yo, you know what? That is not Trump. That is the Israeli lobby. Fuck you, Israeli lobby, for besmirching my name and my wife's name. Like, how dare you do that, right? How come he's not doing that, Joe Kent? I'm saying.
What do you make of? Because you just said something there. What do you make of? He was just asked by a reporter, "Hey, did you hear about this guy resigning?" And it's not like, oh, it wasn't like I don't know, like it wasn't put like with a bias. It was just like straight up, "Hey, what's your reaction to this guy resigning?" And that's what he said. Like no one pushed him towards that. No one said he said anything bad about Trump. That was literally the first thing that came to Trump's mind.
There's no way around it, Anthony. No fucking way around this. In regards to please, Joe Kent, make a reason up for that. There's no what could you say? What could you say? That he has like a teleprompter telling Israeli teleprompter telling him exactly what to say? An earpiece telling him what to say? Like, what is it? I mean, you can't just say that. That wouldn't work.
Well, they can't also. Well, yeah, they can't. That won't work either because that's the persona these fuckers give him. Like, he's his own man. He's a strong man. He's a great president, man. So he can't look weak. He can't look like, oh, he's taking marching orders, et cetera, et cetera. So like you could say, oh, he's being ill-advised, but you can't say much more than that.
Sugar had to
you're
ask
kind of leaving
him.
it, you're kind of leaving it vague. You're saying a statement where it's like, oh, we don't know what you mean by that, so we just got to kind of let it go. Kind of like
Sugar
that's actually very psychological. Yeah, it's a very psychological strategy of just trying to get you to move on. Like, oh, I guess that's that.
And although Sugar gave up eventually, but he had to ask. He's like, well, why are you denying? Like he didn't ask him that. He didn't say why are you denying. He basically said like, well, doesn't Trump have a sense of like volition, choice, agency? Can he act on his own? Right.
What he said,
and it got thrown in the garbage. I think as a response.
It's like, yeah, he's the only guy that could turn this boat around, but he just hasn't yet.
We have to give him room and time.
Like, yeah,
give him room and
why?
Time.
He's had 8 fucking years. How long you want?
You got to hear the exact fucking statement Joe Kent said. It's bad. It's bad.
I got you.
But Sugar also gave up on questioning that direction. He gave up on it.
He did. Of course he did.
He's reading fucking index cards of questions instead of like, yeah, sure, write some notes, but like, don't be like so strict to it because you're worried about like not having Joe Kent on and like in the future. Is that the thing you're worried about?
There's not been a follow-up question. He just moves on the whole time.
Exactly. He's like, so anyways, and he asks another different question, a different direction.
He's making the Cato Institute proud. Just like the Cato Institute. Right, Tucker?
All right. Let's keep playing. Here we go.
So he called me, and I believe that we parted on good terms.
Okay. I mean, I think that's admirable. I do think it's kind of interesting. I've been talking, about your situation with a lot of people. You're one of the only whistleblowers I've ever seen. You don't have to call yourself that. I'm elevating you to somebody who's
blowers.
You're not
See how he
whistleblowing
corrects
or
himself?
leaking
See how
anything.
he
I just want to
corrects
be very clear. But somebody
I am
Dog whistleblower.
whistle blower.
Dog
Sure.
whistleblower.
Sure, pal. Okay. Well, okay. He tried to clean it up best he could, but
was
He does. He's like, no, I mean, no, you don't have to call yourself that. You don't have to identify by those pronouns. It's okay.
So what is that whole thing about? Like, some people were calling him a whistleblower, or was like,
it's being
I
implied.
think he just doesn't want to be called that because obviously
He's not.
Yeah, because
he's
obviously
he's actually not.
Government.
Yes, first off, he's not. Second off, whistleblower.
He's a dude that quit his job.
Yeah, it would imply like Trump is doing something like bad or something like that, or the administration is doing something bad, and like he has to like secretly like tell people about it. Like it's like you can't have that implication there. You can't have that. I don't think. So that's
right? And so Saagar backed off. Is that calling him that? So do they call him that like when he's not present? Is that the thing?
I think it's implied, Jesse. Jesse, I think it's implied. I think it's implied in the sense of like whistleblower means like something bad happened and you called it out. I think that is the actual narrative about Joe.
And it's like, and it usually happens in the middle of the thing happening. It's not like you're whistleblowing after the whole thing. It's like, it happens during the thing, right? Like, because you're blowing the whistle. You're saying, hey, this is an emergency right now. So technically, he would fall into that category, but obviously, this is something else.
But he doesn't want to be considered that.
The most informative thing he told us.
Yeah, because he's still working for the government.
Yeah, it's still the most informative thing he's told us is Israel talks to our government.
Mm-hmm.
And they run our news.
And the lobby? You heard of that lobby, right? Not the Hobby
Lobby.
How do
you spell it again? Oh, I can't spell it because that might get me in trouble.
And he knows about how it happens, but he doesn't want to say or name
details,
names.
Yeah. No.
He
has not informed us on anything. Yeah.
Right. Sean Hannity and Mark Levin are already after it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. At this point, like
Joe Kent.
What he is supposedly whistleblow, everybody is already there. Like, there's nothing he is whistleblown to.
Yes.
Not a single person has he exposed for doing something.
On a technical level, yes, you're absolutely correct. But what they want, like the sheen of a fucking whistleblower was like, oh my god, this guy, the courage to stand up and do this or do that.
Wait.
I think that's like the idea that they want like attached to this guy. I think I'll be fair. I think Sugar has some reservation about it. I think, but the overall thing is to hold him up as a golden child of like, oh my god, this guy stood up for his truth, for his truth and his fucking idea of freedom and all that stuff.
Well, it's like because Saagar can't go up against him or like treat him like Michael Tracy, right? Because if it was that kind of situation, I know Saagar could do it, but it's just like he's in a weird place because he's a fucking bootlegger too, right? So
he's probably a coward.
He needs his access.
Coward. So, at best. No offense, Sugar.
Compare this to Oliver North at Congress.
Oh my god. Oliver fucking what? Iran Contra.
Yeah, compare it. Just in your head, just fucking look at the difference here.
Oliver's 10 toes down, bro. He's in it. It's like, yo, you know what? With it, bro. I'm with it. Get it done. Yeah. All right.
Let him cook. He's still going.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
With a lot of people, you're one of the only whistleblowers I've ever seen. You don't have to call yourself that. I'm saying I'm elevating you to somebody who's resigned. You're not whistleblowing or leaking anything. I just want to be very clear. But somebody of that caliber who is coming out, resigning in protest, who still seems to have some confidence in leadership
of the war.
And
no.
I mean, we've talked about how you're squaring that circle. And again, I appreciate it because you're trying to make a tactical point about the problems that we have. At what point, though, do you think that other people need to follow your lead? Is it a ground invasion? Is it a consideration of, is it a feeling of not having your voice heard? Like, a lot of people are going to listen to you right now for guidance. I know that for a fact who are working in the United States government. What's your advice to them for the people who share your view?
I think for my former colleagues, once they reach a point where they think that their advice and their counsel is not being heard, they need to consider doing what I did. And the calculus is going to be different for everybody. I understand there's even like, hey, can I pay my mortgage next week? There's those types of considerations as well. However, I would just, really implore my former colleagues to just think about where we were at this time in 2003 in the Iraq War. How many lives could have been saved had more government officials said, no, I'm not going to do this? And honestly, those guys kind of had an excuse. 9/11 had just happened.
Right.
We didn't have this access to media. We didn't have this access to information. I don't think our generation has an excuse. If you fought in the global war on terror, you don't have an excuse. We've seen this before. So I do think they need to reflect. If they're fighting in place, they're fighting from the inside. I completely respect that. However, if they reach a point where the options that they're offering aren't being heard at all, and they're not even allowed in the room, they're not even allowed at the chain of command, the reports aren't even being read, they've got to reflect internally and think about how this is going to impact future generations or impact the men and women that are going to have to go fight and die overseas.
That
Okay.
the initial part made no sense to me because if the idea is that like, oh my god, these guys have the internet now, it's like, wait a minute, aren't you like a part of the government? So thus, if you ask for information and you don't get it, shouldn't that already be like alarming? As in like, yo, we're not going with what you're doing because you're not telling us anything. So thus, you're disqualified on that alone. He's like implying like they're the audience. They're watching from beyond, looking at the people in the White House do what they do. Like that. Okay, that doesn't make sense to me personally. It's like they're like audience members for like content creators or something like that. Like, oh my god, look what they're doing! Like, damn, we have the internet now, so we can see this. Like, wait a minute, aren't you in government? As in, like, you can like ask like directly. If you don't get an answer, you should be like, hey guys, we're getting no answer from this stuff. Period. But then that would beg the question, like, who is he talking about in regards to people that need to see some sort of event happen, like on the internet, I guess. Before they're like, you know what, this is kind of wrong, isn't it? This is kind of bad. I needed to see it on fucking Facebook before I decided that. Like, to me, that made no sense, but whatever.
Kind of the theme
what
of
I
his
heard-
responses.
He sounds like the fucking
I
internet.
heard
He
what-
does. Joe Kent, he sounds like the fucking internet. Like, aren't you like fucking Intel and shit like that? Aren't you that, bro? Like, what happened?
Exactly, that he consumed the intel and now he's regurgitating it too. So.
Yeah. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Dumpster.
I mean, he doesn't have the personality for a podcaster. He's definitely going to be a politician. So, sorry, this is like dry. No one's watching this. By himself?
I mean, they might. Who knows? It's 2026. Who fucking knows? But
what I heard,
good.
what I heard right there was like, it contradicted what he said earlier, but this was probably like the best thing he said this whole interview. If you think, not what you're talking about, but if you think as a government employee that you're just not being listened to and heard out, and there's no way of like calling something out, yeah, go ahead and quit. That was probably the most decent thing this dude has fucking said this whole interview. But he contradicted that earlier by saying, look, I don't think anybody should follow me and do what I did and actually, whistleblow or resign and strike against the job. So it comes off empty if you watch the whole interview. Like, he said it both ways, but dude, what the fuck? What is that?
Well, I would think the bigger idea there is like, who is purposely not listening or purposely like dismissing? Like, who are you talking about? Like, that diagnosis is actually like very important to like, I guess the story he's telling in regards to all this. Like, who is dismissing all this stuff? Is it strictly the inner circle of Trump to where these guys are like subverting him by like pushing away like actual questions from. I mean, like once again, to be honest with like this guy's like kind of a higher up, you would say, if he held the role that he held, he's kind of a higher up. So I don't know how he doesn't have access to be able to say anything to the fucking president.
Does but I mean, apparently he was locked out. But it's like, well, how long were you locked out for? When did this start happening? And also, I don't trust you because this is just.
I don't.
Also, in the whole context,
Look, I can't tell you how long I've been locked out. That's classified.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's gonna. Like, what am I? How do you talk to this guy? It's like talking to a brick wall.
It's the advisors that also told us like what we should be thinking about this particular topic, like Marco Rubio or JD Vance is a really good guy. It's like the quote unquote like inner circle, as far as we understand, are these characters, right? Pete Hegseth, Rubio, Vance, whoever, Witkoff, but they're all good guys according to Joe Kent. So I'm like, what are you talking? Like, who are you talking about then? Who are these secret extra insiders that you're talking about, Joe Kent?
He can't say.
And he could just say Israeli. He could just say that. Israeli. At best, right? Like, oh, Israeli. Or, like you said, top secret.
Not at liberty to say.
Can't say it. Like, who are these ghouls, in Trump's chambers? Like, who are these ghouls, like, whispering in his ear at nighttime? Like, who are we talking about?
But it's like, he's implying it's like Mark Levin's, the fucking Lindsey Graham. You know what I mean? It's going to be,
Right.
you know who it is.
But wouldn't that be a choice? Wouldn't that be a choice?
The lobby, you know which one.
But
Right.
Seb,
The best joke.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a choice?
What was
The best thing Joe Kent did was get Mark Levin to come out on his own and tell on himself.
No, but like, okay, Mark Levin, who's not appointed, right? He's not appointed.
No,
he is, but he isn't. He is, but he isn't.
He's a special advisor, yeah.
But it's like, he was not like, okay, he can't usurp the other guys that were also appointed by Trump, right? He can't usurp Marco Rubio, right? I don't think. So, like, how come, like, if Mark Levin, once again, if Trump believes in, like, his advisors, like, oh my God, these guys are so smart, let me follow my advisors. Why would he be like, you know what? I picked Mark Levin's advice over Marco Rubio or JD Vance.
Which is funny enough, that is Mark Levin's argument where he's like, yeah, I just came in and I busted through the door and I'm like, Donald Trump, this is what you're going to do.
Listen,
what happened was Mark Levin cornered.
No,
Joe
he was
Kent,
like, he was mocking it. He was mocking it.
Mark Levin cornered Joe Kent and said, "Look here, you little bastard."
You little bastard. Exactly.
It's time for
but
playtime.
He's like, they think I'm some sort of magical Jew. I just appeared. Still Donald Trump. We're gonna invade Iran. Yeah, you think I have that kind of pull? I'm like, That's why it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Narrative doesn't work. It's stupid.
Listen, kids, playtime's over. The man is here. Now sit down, you little bastards.
Put the Play-Doh away.
Put your little Crayola crayons away. It's Mark Levin time, you little bastards. Oh, that's brilliant.
So, yeah. But that's what he's implying in terms of like, oh, these people, these, neocons. Yeah.
I mean, okay. To be honest, like also selling the same like narrative, I think, in my opinion. I think this lady and Joe Kent are like on the same team personally, based on what I've seen. My personal guess, Laura Loomer, when she when she puts tweets out saying like, yeah, I have direct access to the White House, so like you don't have that. Like when she's like bragging on it or whatever, it's like I think that's equally a part of the narrative as much as what Joe Kent does. Although she's really stupid and really bad at it. It's like she's horrendous. But
she's a fucking disaster.
But still.
Like, out of her fucking mind.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's actually out of her mind, I think.
No, she is. She's like, now she's getting married though. Mazel tov. So maybe she'll calm down.
She needs a real man. Anyways, what's up?
Maybe she'll have other interests, Like, is she gonna cook for her husband? Maybe she'll be busy. Is she a trad wife? I don't know.
They're doing some King ass ripper shit for sure. That dude's face is saran wrapped to her ass cheeks as she farts. 100%.
Yeah, probably. They were in India together. So I'm like, you took him to India?
When Casey's not here, bro. K2C, what do you think about that? If you hear this recording, K2C, what do you think about that?
After all the shit she said about their country, Lord have mercy. She had to go and delete all those tweets. Way back when she got her, though, because the shit that she was saying was crazy.
Listen, it is what it is. She does what she has to do. All right, what's up, play? I think it's basically over until he goes into other topics.
I think so.
All right, here we go.
I want to just double click on that. What if Colin Powell had told the truth?
Amen.
Can you imagine the world?
Powell?
Can you imagine that world, the prestige of someone like that? And I implore anyone listening to this to think about your comments and your background of your.
Okay, Iraq War, got it. I think that's GG's. 3-hour video, worth it. Yeah, okay. Once again, Joe Kent did not shake my idea of him in the first place. All he did was like reinforce it, I think. Sugar, come on, man. Do better, man. A lot better. I hope, at least. I hope he means well. I really do. I don't fucking know, but I hope so. And maybe just trying to be like polite, or not try to like scare the guest away is maybe his idea of things, but like, certain things like beg the question, Sugar. It is what it is, bro. They beg the question, and some decent questions, but for the most part, like, you can actually like dig on this because it is important. Because for all you know, this guy could be like a future like thought leader. He could be that. And thus, you're gonna like, if you mean well, and you see this guy like doing something that doesn't look like that, bro, in the future, you don't want like regrets about that. So, yeah, either do better or he's full of shit. One or the other. I'll say that for
Oh wait,
Saagar.
hold on. Can you play one more part? I forgot. I think it's
which one?
Sorry, just really quick. I think it's 47 minutes, maybe.
I feel like I've been watching this for 3 hours, actually. But 47 minutes? All right. 31 minutes. Fuck my life. All right.
Okay. I think it's there.
Okay. Let's hear it. One sec. There we go. Epstein? There we go.
So, but I think it was probably a welcome distraction considering how much it was in the news. Because again, if you want people to rally around the flag, start a new war, that's kind of like politics 101, tragically. So I think that factor, but I don't think it was specifically for Epstein. Had the Epstein files never existed, there'd still be, unfortunately, a neoconservative Israeli lobby for a war with Iran.
Yeah, I sticking, I think, a little bit with the Epstein question. That's another one. And look, I'm not saying I believe this, but I have seen a lot of people who do. They think, you talked there about Trump potentially being influenced by a threat to his safety. Another theory is about Epstein. His conduct around Epstein has been bizarre, if we're being honest. I can say that. You don't have to say it. Do you think there's any credence to that?
Why help him?
I think if Trump was in the Epstein files, they would have used it to take him out long before he even got the nomination back in 2016. I just think that's even if you don't like Trump, I think that's just kind of obvious. But again, we go back to this appears to be a very powerful network, and so for people who've been anywhere near it, are they intimidated by it? That's a potential.
Yeah, and sticking with that,
No, I think the question was like, or the idea was like, well, Trump is clear as day, right? If you look at this topic and buy into it, the Trump administration, clear as day, Trump himself, in words at least, clear as day, like, want this topic to go away, I would think, right? The Epstein stuff. It's like, how, like, what's his excuse for that? Like,
it's obvious. It's not. He's not in them. So that's kind of where
no. Like, okay, he's not in them, but like, why would he protect it? Like, why would he like try to keep it covered up? In fact, that story, I said that. I swear to God, I'm like, the only thing that makes this story go away would be war with Iran. then war with Iran happens, and the story actually like kind of dissipates. It's kind of not really there anymore, honestly.
Yeah.
Just kind of crazy. We're still missing like a bunch of things that were supposed to be released. They didn't come out. And people were like hounding about it, and then boom, war with Iran, and now it's gone. And Joe Kent's answer, well, he's not in them, so I guess there's a positive for us. For who? Who's that for? Lovers of Trump, I guess. Like Trump fans.
I guess.
I guess that's a win. He's not in them, I guess, that we know of. Hey, okay. That makes sense. All right, here we go.
Very powerful network. And
Powerful
so
network.
For people who've been anywhere near it, are they intimidated by it? That's a potential.
Yeah. And sticking with that, given your assessment, you've worked at the highest levels of the United States intelligence community. You said you do think Epstein's an intelligence asset, not specifically for any one country. So given your experience within that, I would just want to be very, very clear. It would not be out of the question to have powerful networks like this, which are linked to United States intelligence, Israeli intelligence, Russian intelligence. Yes or no?
Of course. Yeah. I think most Western governments would use several layers of cutouts, and all the people who could be called to testify probably actually wouldn't know anything, and it wouldn't. And there'd be very limited files about it. It's just my professional opinion.
Compartmentalized.
See, I think this is very important. It's been dismissed as a conspiracy theory. I think your opinion on this matter, considering your expertise here, is really vital because you've actually seen some of this up close.
I think that was it. I just wanted to see the
I think
Epstein
people who
part.
have been dismissing this for quite a long time.
Okay. Well, I'll let Trigger.
Yeah, you
finish.
can let him keep going, but it's just FYI.
There we go.
I just thought it was interesting that he was so quick to dismiss. Like, no, he's not. It's like, okay, yeah, you definitely are working. Like, it's just every single thing. And I'm not saying that other people aren't saying that. I know a bunch of people are. It's just like, it's just another layer to his clownery.
Well, Joe Kent, I heard that Trump ate a Big Mac. Well, he took the cheese off, so it's not as much fat. You know what I'm saying? And bro, like, who are you? You fucking shoe shiner? Like, who the fuck is this guy? What is going on?
Straight out of an MK Ultra basement, like one of those, just stamped out, like.
And it's such like a character's face, like I don't know, man.
Everything about him is stiff. Like I feel like tension on my back just watching him. Sorry, it sounds really weird.
Jesus Christ.
So sorry. You know what I mean. It's his aura. It's stiff. He's got a stiff aura.
Like at first I was going with with him and Tucker. I'm like, okay, this guy's like very I guess the idea is like the stoic, I'm the military man stoicness, right? But now it's actually like a pathetic, like imagery wise, like a pathetic like stoic guy. Like I'm quiet because Daddy might punish me if I say too much. Like look to him.
Yeah.
For me personally, that's what I see personally. But probably biased or whatever. But all right, let's apply. Here's Sugar out. Here we go.
It's been dismissed as a conspiracy theory. I think your opinion on this matter, considering your expertise here, is really vital because you've actually seen some of this up close. And so, I think people who have been dismissing this for quite a long time should really, really take that to heart.
Michael Tracy,
we're talking about the Epstein story, which of course the mainstream media, if they do want to talk about intelligence connection, it's to Russia, never to anybody else. Last question here on Epstein.
Okay, that's a GG's for me. All right. Hey, there's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree or disagree. I mean, I have a feeling that there's more people in favor or more of a liking to of Joe Kent than against. But please, if you're in the liking category of I like this guy because he did a protest resignation, I guess. Please ask yourself, have you been tricked before? by personalities or cult of personality, or especially in these like political fields or like political higher ups. Have you been tricked before? If you have, please beg yourself the question, like, man, could I be being tricked right now? Like, could that be happening right now? Please ask yourself that. Otherwise, what are we doing? What's our point here?
Mhm.
It's just gonna like rally from one thing to the next, and thus we get fucking nowhere. If you mean well, like, you're going nowhere if you just keep falling into the same patterns of these fucking personalities. But you know what? You do your thing. I beg you to, though. Leave a comment, and I will respond. I promise I will. Unless it's about like ranch dressing. That will not be
Shout out to
responded.
Prop.
That will get like a like and a thumbs up, but no real comments, honestly. But you know what? Please do your thing.
Why are you so scared of ranch?
I don't know, man. Phobia. Don't forget the share support. Hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please join a Discord if you feel like. All opinions are welcome. We're in that Discord right now, so please join up if you feel like. Everything I showed you will also be linked in that same description box for you to look at on your own, and analyze and look through. And we did a video already on Joe Kent and Tucker Carlson. Go look that one up too. Without us, like, go watch it on your own, like the actual video. It's linked in that video as well for you to look at. So please do so. I recommend it. Most importantly, with all that said, give this video a thumbs down. That's right.